Chapter 693. Lin Xian pondered for a moment before saying, "That dragon should be Dragoni's father or mother, right? Do you think it will still attack us if we bring her out? But I keep having the feeling that the true dragon outside has no consciousness. Although many experts still have a consciousness even after they've died, we clearly didn't do anything just now. Yet the true dragon wanted to kill us. There's no reason for that," Ling Ying said. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. What she said makes sense. But she has already recognized me as her master. She shouldn't attack us, right? Lin Xian said. But if you die, the master-servant contract will disappear. Under normal circumstances, how can dragons be willing to become a human's pet? Makes sense. But we can't be trapped here forever, right? We have to go out eventually. If we don't, we'll die. How about this? I'll take her out first while you guys wait here. If there's any danger, I'll come back. If there's no danger, I'll take you guys out, Lin Xian said. You be careful. Don't worry, I'm of the space attribute. At least I have the ability to save my life. After saying that, Lin Xian walked back to where they fell. There's a teleportation formation flashing at the place where they fell. It's obvious that it's the teleportation formation leading back to the main hall. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Under the worried gazes of the others, he disappeared from where he stood. Lin Xian is the most suitable person. First of all, Dragoni has recognized him as her master. This is a special characteristic. Second, he's of the space attribute. At least his ability to protect himself is the strongest. Even if there's danger, he can just teleport to the teleportation formation and come back. Anyway, it seems that the dragon outside can't come in here. Lin Xian appeared outside. The moment he appeared, the dragon rushed straight at Lin Xian. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian subconsciously wanted to run back. My daughter. But at this time, the dragon actually spoke, and it's a woman's voice. The blood-red eyes gradually became clear. This scene made Lin Xian feel like there's hope. It stopped in front of Lin Xian and circled around. It seems to be a little excited. This should be Dragoni's mother. But it's just a shadow. Whoosh! In a flash of light, the dragon turned into a beautiful woman standing in front of Lin Xian. Then she reached out a trembling hand to touch Dragoni. But it's just a shadow. She couldn't touch her. Lin Xian, she's already very satisfied. She recognized you as her master? After a long while, she raised her head and looked at Lin Xian with teary eyes. No matter what, she's still a mother. Lin Xian nodded. I don't know why either. It's all a freak combination of factors. The woman looked at Dragoni then murmured, It's also my fault. This remnant soul has been here for too long. Plus the erosion of the fire attribute energy. It's getting more and more out of control. Plus, someone just destroyed this place, so I lost my mind and attacked you. I'm really sorry. Hearing this, Lin Xian breathed a sigh of relief. So that's why. After all, this is just a remnant soul. You can't be too harsh on her. That's good, that's good. She sighed as she looked at the sleeping Dragoni. Even if she comes out, I'm afraid it'll be difficult for her to survive. Or maybe she'll be used by evil people. With her great power, it's also a good thing to have outside help. Then she looked up at Lin Xian. Even if I can't trust you, I have no choice but to trust you. Human boy, can you take her out and take good care of her? Lin Xian nodded. If Senior trusts me, I can definitely do it. That's the will of the heavens. I hope you can trust me. Take good care of her, and don't let her go down the path of evil. Lin Xian nodded. Since Dragoni has recognized him as her master, that means she'll listen to him in many things. Go down the path of evil? As long as Lin Xian wasn't a bad person, then she wouldn't fall into the evil path. Otherwise, if she fell into the hands of bad people, then they could use Dragoni's power to achieve many things, including their own schemes. Perhaps this was what her mother was worried about. But what can she do if she doesn't believe in Lin Xian? She also needed someone to take care of her daughter. Otherwise, it would be a problem for her daughter to survive the moment she was born. Moreover, her illusory figure would most likely dissipate. This was the only solution left to her. She could only choose to believe in Lin Xian. It's just, Lin Xian showed a worried expression. I've never experienced something like this before, so I don't know how to teach her. The woman shook her head. No need. She's been absorbing the energy of heaven and earth for thousands of years. At the same time, she also ate my dragon orb. It contains all the energy I had when I was alive. She only needs to slowly refine it. You only need to protect her. I understand. This place should be collapsing soon. You should leave as soon as possible. Her gaze lingered on Dragoni's body, reluctant to part with her. Then what do I need to do in the future? What do I need her to do? Let her live happily. Smiling faintly, the woman reached out her hand to Dragoni, but her figure gradually faded into nothingness. Hurry, go. In a short period of time, her figure was already gone. In the first place, this shadow won't be able to last long, and with the sudden burst of energy, it's normal for it to disappear in a short period of time. Rumble, it's at this moment that the surroundings trembled violently. Lin Xian. Fuck. Don't be like this. It's King collapsing? Lin Xian was dumbfounded. From the time they entered until now, it's probably more than 4 to 5 hours. Even if they were given half an hour to return at full speed, it still wouldn't be enough. Although Lin Xian has the space attribute, he's only an 8-star Tribulation Realm cultivator. Even if he released all of his space attribute, he still wouldn't be able to reach the cave entrance. If it was the Law Realm, he could still give it a try. But he can't think anymore. This place is already collapsing. He must hurry back. Whoosh, when he arrived inside, the women were already waiting for him. Hurry, it's going to collapse. Lin Xian didn't have time to say anything, and quickly led them into the teleportation array. When they came out, it was only a few seconds before the stone began to fall. Every one of them had a panicked expression. Go! Lin Xian gritted his teeth and released his space energy, all of them arriving in front of the door. Fuck! This is a scam. Dragoni's mother is too troublesome, isn't she? It's fine if it collapsed so quickly, but the door still can't be opened. Morong Qing released her time energy and stopped time, stopping everything falling around her. Then she pushed the door with all her strength, but it didn't budge. Chapter 694. Isn't this King over? This won't do. This door can't be opened by the strength of an Empyrean. Morong Qing was also panicking. Even if she was an Empyrean, if this place collapsed, they would all be crushed to death. Everyone put in more effort. However, with everyone's strength added together, the door only moved a little. Their combined strength could not compare to the strength of 2 Empyreans. Morong Qing was of the time attribute and did not specialize in strength. It took 4 Empyreans to open it. It's over, it's over. At this time, perhaps she was awakened by the commotion around her. Dragoni opened her eyes and blinked in confusion. She did not seem to be stupid, and seemed to have understood something. Then, she slowly reached out her little hand from Lin Xian's arms. Boom! A flame blasted out like an explosion. The door shattered. Lin Xian's mouth fell open. What the hell? Even Morong Qing's strength could not break it. But she did? This was 2 King exaggerated, right? Then, the little girl seemed to be tired and fell asleep again. Run! The entire Holy Dragon Flame Cave was collapsing. They quickly rushed out. But could they make it? Boom, boom, boom. Stone after stone fell around them. They ran back the way they came while dodging the stones. It's too late, too late. Ling Ying said through gritted teeth. From the looks of it, they knew that in a few minutes, everything would collapse. How could they run out? There's still a chance, there's still a chance. Don't give up. Lin Xian said through gritted teeth. Although they knew it, they could not give up. Boom. The road in front of them had collapsed, and all of them were stuck here. Go. I have the space attribute. Lin Xian shouted, and was about to release it, but Ling Ying pulled his hand. Morong Qing and the others also stopped at the side and looked at them. Morong Qing released time freeze again, and all the stones that had fallen in midair stopped. Lin Xian, you should go. If you only use your spatial attribute on yourself, you should be able to reach the cave entrance in a short amount of time. Ling Ying's beautiful eyes were a little red. He thought that he had survived a disaster, but he didn't expect to encounter such a situation. There was nothing he could do about it. What nonsense are you talking about? Lin Xian glared at Ling Ying. I'm serious. If you don't do this, None of us will be able to escape. But you're alone. You can get out. Don't King waste time. Let's go. Can you not be so stubborn? Ling Ying's tears were about to fall. Of course she couldn't bear to do it, but there was no other way. Han Chuxue also bit her lips, but she tried to show that she was strong. Xiao Xingyue couldn't do anything about it. You go out first. After all, I'm in the heavenly venerable realm. If I only use my spiritual power to support a small area, time freeze can last for at least half an hour. You only need a few minutes to get out. After you get out, you still have a way. Don't you have powerful spatial attribute friends? They should be able to make it in time. Morongqing said. Nonsense. Don't think that I don't know how much spiritual power time freeze consumes. Even if you're in the heavenly venerable realm, you can't hold on for a minute. After all, Lin Xian had released time freeze before. Time freeze was different from time acceleration and time deceleration. In terms of spiritual power consumption, time freeze was dozens of times faster. Morongqing also sighed helplessly. Yes, Lin Xian was right. She could only hold on for a few minutes. But that didn't mean that Lin Xian could find a way to get them out. Unfortunately, if she was in the great virtual realm, then even time freeze could last for at least an hour. If it was only a dozen square meters, then it could last for half a day. This was the difference between the heavenly venerable realm and the great virtual realm. F***CK. I'm not leaving either. Lin Xian cursed. What are you doing? Hurry up and leave. Ling Ying couldn't help but cry and push Lin Xian away. Han Chuxue bit her lips and didn't say a word. At this moment, a figure appeared beside them like a ray of light in the dark night. Are you leaving? Lin Xian's body shook as he raised his head to look at Ling Longshui who had appeared behind them. F***CK. Why are you here? At this moment, Ling Longshui was simply too beautiful in Lin Xian's eyes. At that moment, Lin Xian was so excited that tears were about to fall. Traveling, Ling Longshui said indifferently. Xiao Xingyue didn't know her and didn't understand how this person appeared. She also didn't understand why everyone's eyes, which were originally filled with despair, suddenly lit up when they saw her. Time and space were indeed of the same level, but they were two different attributes after all. Time had its terrifying aspects and so did space. However, in this situation, space was obviously what they needed. Hurry up and leave, Lin Xian hurriedly said, and then all of them disappeared. When they reappeared, they were outside the sacred dragon flame cave. At the same time, they saw the huge sacred dragon flame cave collapse with their own eyes. Probably many people died inside. However, thinking about it, the flame tide should have killed all of them. This was what it meant to be a survivor of a disaster. Everyone was pleasantly surprised. Xiao Xingyue also understood why everyone was so surprised when they saw her. Ling Ying and Han Chuxue were so emotional that they cried. At that time, they thought they were dead for sure, and would be separated from Lin Xian forever. However, they weren't dead yet. Lin Xian simply wanted to hug Ling Longshui and kiss her fiercely. This was a goddess. Thank you, Sister Ling Long. Ling Ying held Han Chuxue's hand, and the two of them bowed to Ling Longshui gratefully. Xiao Xingyue also bowed slightly. Thank you, Senior, for saving our lives. Morongqing also breathed a sigh of relief. She was unwilling to die in there. Thank you, Senior. Morongqing clasped her fist. Ling Longshui's face was indifferent under the veil. She nodded slightly and then disappeared from the spot. Hey, you're leaving? At least send us directly back to Lin City. Lin Xian shouted into the air, but she had already left. Then, Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. Laugh. You're still laughing. Ling Ying glared at Lin Xian and wiped his tears. Shouldn't we be laughing after surviving? Why are you so disobedient? Ling Ying couldn't help but cry again. It was completely out of fear. He couldn't help but hit Lin Xian's chest, and then threw himself into his arms and cried louder and louder. Han Chuxue was also secretly wiping her tears. When she was about to die, other than her family, she really felt that Lin Xian was the one she couldn't bear to part with the most. She also wanted to throw herself into Lin Xian's arms and cry, but after all, that was her personality. Chapter 695. In Morongqing's eyes, there was no need to explain this scene anymore. Ling Ying threw herself into Lin Xian's arms and cried. Although the feeling of surviving a disaster is indeed a bit emotional and difficult to control the emotions in her heart. But this is Ling Ying. She still has some understanding of him. Before, she already suspected whether or not they were boyfriend and girlfriend, but now it is basically confirmed. She wasn't sure about Han Chuxue, but Ling Ying is definitely Lin Xian's girlfriend. Even if she isn't his girlfriend, they are definitely friends. In any case, they must have a very intimate relationship. Not to mention Lin Xian. This Ling Ying definitely likes Lin Xian. Xiao Xingyue was also very surprised. This Lin Xian and Ling Ying's relationship is actually this close. For a girl to be outstanding, in fact, many times don't look at how many pursuers and admirers she has, but how other beautiful and outstanding girls see her. This is enough to explain the problem. In any case, in Xiao Xingyue's eyes, whether it is Han Chuxue or Ling Ying, they are all worthy of her admiration. So when Ling Ying acted so intimate with Lin Xian, she was slightly surprised. As for whether or not they are boyfriend and girlfriend, she doesn't know. Okay, don't you feel ashamed? Wipe your tears. Lin Xian used his arm to wipe Ling Ying's tears. Ling Ying couldn't help but roll her eyes at Lin Xian, then retreated to the side to wipe her tears. Lin Xian looked at everyone then said, "Let's go back. There is no need to stay here. The most precious thing is already in his hands. And that is the sleeping dragony in his arms. And let's go back also. I didn't cry." Ling Ying glared at Lin Xian. Okay, you didn't cry. It's just sand in your eyes. Lin Xian said with a smile. Humph. Ling Ying snorted. Chuxue. New moon. Just as they were about to return, two voices suddenly rang out. Then they saw a few people rushing over. These two people were Wang Haiyang and Gong Sunjun. The few people behind them should be the experts they had found. Xingyue, are you okay? Gong Sunjun rushed over and quickly grabbed Xiao Xingyue's hand, looking at her worriedly. Xiao Xingyue subconsciously pushed Gong Sunjun's hand away and said faintly, "I'm fine. It's good that you're all right. I heard the sound of the collapse from afar. I thought I would be fine once I came out," Gong Sunjun said excitedly. In fact, they had already seen the situation here from the distant peak. They saw that the sacred dragon flame cave was collapsing. What could they do? He didn't dare to go in. Even if he found an expert, he definitely wouldn't go in. He even gave up. However, just as he was about to give up, he saw a few figures appear at the entrance of the cave. "Chuxue, are you okay?" Wang Haiyang asked with a worried face. Lin Xian discreetly pressed Dragony deeper into his arms, so that they wouldn't see. He sneered in his heart. This man is really a hypocrite. Han Chuxue shook her head slightly. After all, she still had to respond politely. "Xingyue, I just found this expert. I didn't expect such a dangerous situation to happen inside. Fortunately, you came out. It's not good to stay here for long. Let's go back. I'll drive, you go back and have a good rest." Then the two of them walked away. Xiao Xingyue, of course, was not a fool. She couldn't tell whether Gong Sunjun was telling the truth or not. She only knew that the one who saved her was Lin Xian. Anyway, she wouldn't go so far as to break up. After all, she was relatively naive. However, if he wanted to continue to increase her favorability, this Gong Sunjun would have a hard time. Why did Xiao Xingyue agree to be his girlfriend? In fact, it was quite simple. First of all, Gong Sunjun had been pursuing her for several years, but he never managed to move her. So, Gong Sunjun directed and acted in a hero saving the damsel in distress scenario. Needless to say, this method was really useful. Even if the girl didn't like you, with his years of pursuit, she would feel embarrassed to refuse. Then he succeeded just like that. Xiao Xingyue still foolishly thought that Gong Sunjun was her savior. Until now, he was still her savior. However, although she agreed, she didn't have a good impression of him. Therefore, although they were boyfriend and girlfriend, their relationship wasn't very good. They didn't even agree to hold hands. And today, when Xiao Xingyue needed him the most, Gong Sunjun wasn't there. He said that he was going to find a strong expert, but in the end, he didn't come. What she wanted was companionship. Of course, she didn't care. After today, it would be very difficult for Gong Sun-jun to continue to improve their relationship. Young Master Wang, we are all very tired. Please drive us back. Lin Xian said to Wang Haiyang. It's no problem, no problem. Everyone, quickly get in the car and rest. I'll drive. Wang Haiyang quickly said. Thank you. Then, Wang Haiyang continued to play the role of a driver. In fact, he was very happy. Han Chuxue and the others were tired. At this time he drove them back. Wasn't it wonderful? It seemed that Lin Xian was helping him again. He should be grateful. At this time Lin Xian's phone rang. He glanced at it, and saw that it was a message from Xiao Xingyue. Thank you for saving my life. Lin Xian smiled and didn't reply. This was loosening the reins only to grasp them better. Xiao Xingyue sat in the back seat of the car, looking at her phone every 10 seconds or so. She really wanted to thank Lin Xian. Although it was the strong expert who saved them in the end, she seemed to know Lin Xian. Moreover, in the hall, Lin Xian also saved her life. Then she sent this message. Logically speaking, Lin Xian should reply no matter what. She felt that it should be like this. Even if it was an emoticon, it would be good. However, the other party didn't reply. Then, she would look at her phone every once in a while. So what was this called? A way to pick up girls. Loosening the reins only to grasp them better was one method. But what was the principle behind it? Emotions. If you don't reply, you will make the girl feel emotional and think too much. Then, you will be one of them. Isn't that a good thing? Young Master Lin, did you get any treasures inside? Wang Haiyang smiled and asked. Lin Xian sighed. Don't mention it. We almost lost our lives. We didn't get anything. Not to mention treasures, we didn't even level up. This time, we came here to do a set of steamed dishes. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Wang Haiyang was happy. They didn't get anything. That's great. Don't say that. Everyone is fine. That's the most important thing. Yeah, being fine is the most important thing. Lin Xian smiled. Chapter 696. Lin Xian didn't understand why Ling Longshui would appear here. Weren't they watching a drama? And Lin Xian didn't ask her to come. Yet she appeared at the most crucial moment. It's really hard to describe the feeling of seeing her. It's simply the happiest thing in life. Did anyone get hurt? Lin Xian said. No injuries, and we didn't get anything. At this time, Dragoni moved in his arms and poked her head out from Lin Xian's collar. Lin Xian pressed her back into his arms. Shut up, Lin Xian said. But in fact, he was talking to Dragoni in his arms. Ah! Wang Haiyang looked at the interior mirror in confusion. Lin Xian smiled and said, What I mean is that everyone is tired. Let's not talk and let everyone take a nap. Yes. Everyone rest first. I'll try to drive as smoothly as possible. A few hours later, they returned to Linen City. Master Wang, just drop us off at the entrance of the Rose Hotel. Lin Xian said. Okay. Wang Haiyang said, and then dropped them off at the Rose Hotel. Lin Xian and Morong Qing got off the car. Chuxue, I'll send you home. Wang Haiyang said. Han Chuxue and Ling Ying also got off the car. No need, my home is still some distance away. And I'm tired. No need to trouble yourself. I'll just stay at the hotel today. Then okay. Wang Haiyang didn't think too much about it. But he wasn't tired, otherwise he would have found an excuse to stay at the hotel. Phew. They breathed a sigh of relief. At least they returned safely. As for what they got, it wasn't bad. Heaven class skill, 10,000-year ice. Lin Xian was the most satisfied. He directly got a little girl with dragons. Everyone go rest. It's been a tiring day. I'm going to take a shower. I'm soaked in sweat and dry, it's sticky. Morong Qing said and walked into the hotel. Hey, aren't you going to eat something? Lin Xian shouted from behind. Come and eat after you shower. Morong Qing waved her hand and said. Then we'll go take a bath too. Han Chuxue said to Lin Xian. Alright, let's go. Lin Xian smirked. Go. We are just me and Chuxue. Go to sleep. Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian and walked away with Han Chuxue. Actually, it was just a casual remark. If Lin Xian was more forceful, they would probably not reject him. However, there were more important things to do now. Lin Xian caressed Dragoni in his arms through his clothes. She seemed to be tickled and let out a particularly crisp and cute giggle, thinking that Lin Xian was playing a game with her. Lin Xian quickly brought her back to the room. Back in the room, only Lin Xian and Dragoni were left. Lin Xian carried her out. Daddy! Dragoni jumped onto Lin Xian's shoulder and rubbed her face against Lin Xian's. Lin Xian secretly rubbed his forehead, then carried her and placed her on the bed. Dragoni blinked her beautiful big eyes and looked at Lin Xian. What a cute little elf. Her clothes will probably have to be custom made, but it's not that troublesome. Other than calling me daddy, can you say anything else? Lin Xian reached out and pinched her small delicate jade feet. This is really fun. Oh, I can. Dragoni nodded her little head. Lin Xian. Oh my god. How come this little girl really doesn't have any communication barriers when she was just born? But then again, it's not like she's a baby when she was born. Although she's very, very small, her appearance is at least that of a 10-year-old girl. Just that her body is too small. She's really special. As for why, maybe it's because she absorbs the spiritual energy of heaven and earth all year round. Or maybe it's because of something her mother did. In any case, Dragoni can't look at her according to common sense. Moreover, she looks so harmless and super cute. Can you imagine how much power she has? Even Morong Qing couldn't break the door. But she just yawned and blew it open with a spit of fire. Then I'll call you Dragoni from now on, okay? Lin Xian gently pinched her little cheeks. Hee. Dragoni nodded repeatedly, then couldn't help but giggle. Lin Xian didn't know what she was laughing about. Daddy. After laughing for a while, she opened her arms like she wanted a hug. Also, next time call me big brother, not daddy. Lin Xian said. Daddy. Lin Xian. Forget it. Let's talk about it later when we're more familiar with each other. Lin Xian then held her with both hands. Daddy, Dragoni is hungry. Dragoni rubs her tummy as she grumbles in an aggrieved manner. I'll go take a shower first. You stay on the bed by yourself. After the shower, I'll take you out to eat something delicious. Lin Xian then walked into the bathroom. The sound of the shower mixed with Dragoni's laughter outside. Lin Xian didn't know what she was laughing about, so he stuck his head out to take a look. The little girl was jumping up and down on the bed, using the bed's elasticity to jump up high, but the small piece of cloth on her body fell off. See no evil, see no evil, see no evil. Wouldn't I be a fucking beast if I saw this? I'll have to hurry up and fix her clothes. After the shower, Lin Xian released the power of the fire attribute, directly evaporating the water on her body. This is one of the fire attribute's functions. After walking out, Lin Xian quickly wrapped the little girl's body with a cloth. Dragoni was very obedient. She enjoyed Lin Xian's every move. Lin Xian then stuffed her back into his pajamas and walked out. Morong Qing had already arranged a private room for Lin Xian outside, before she took her bath. Lin Xian walked in directly. There wasn't a single person inside yet. Daddy, Dragoni wants to eat. From Lin Xian's embrace, she could smell the aroma of several dishes on the table. She fidgeted around in Lin Xian's embrace. Shh, don't come out yet. Wait until the food is served. Be good. Okay. After all, there will be waiters coming in one by one to serve the food. That's why Dragoni can't come out at this time. With her body shape and the pair of cute dragon horns on her head, if she was seen by anyone, they would definitely guess something. Wow, it smells so good. Ling Ying and Han Chushue came in one after another. They couldn't help but exclaim. Although they didn't fight much during this trip, but the whole process was still quite tense. Their stamina was also very high. Naturally, they needed a big meal like this. Why did you come in your pajamas? Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian and said, then sat down beside Lin Xian with Han Chushue. It doesn't matter. You girls still need to dress more tightly. I want to see Dragoni. Where is Dragoni? Ling Ying couldn't wait to ask. Here. Dragoni's sweet voice came from Lin Xian's embrace. Chapter 697. This Dragoni, you can't treat her like a newborn baby. She understands the meaning of those words, and can say them. Is this something a newborn should do? That's impossible. So just like her appearance, you can't go wrong by treating her like a 10-year-old girl. Lin Xian patted her head and said, "Come out later." "Oh." Dragoni's head went back into the hole. "Why don't you let her come out?" Ling Ying asked doubtfully. "Are you stupid? The food hasn't been served yet. Won't she be exposed when the people serving the food see her? At least wait until I have the ability to protect her and myself before I expose her." Not to mention that it was a pet of the dragon clan. It could also be called a pet. However, Lin Xian preferred to call it a companion. However, normal people would call it a pet. Even if it wasn't a dragon and was just a very ordinary demonic beast. If it was willing to follow you, how precious would that be? It's unimaginable. Although demon beasts aren't that rare. But demon beasts that are willing to follow humans are extremely rare. What's more, she's a little girl from the dragon clan. One can only imagine how much danger Lin Xian and Dragony would be in if this news gets out. When the time comes, those domain realm, celestial realm, and even those above celestial realm will be attracted over. A little girl of a dragon, Lin Xian is basically the only one in the entire 5 empires who has a little girl of a dragon, right? No, that's not very likely either. There are some dragons or other demon beasts that have a good relationship with a certain family, or maybe they were saved by a certain family, or maybe they had a special affinity with someone in the outside world. But for a demon beast of this level to recognize a human as its master, Lin Xian must be the only one. Perhaps for some other trash demonic beasts, if you threaten them with death, they might submit and sign a master-servant contract with you. But for powerful demonic beasts, even if you threaten them with death, their pride would never allow it. Even if they died, they would never accept you as their master. Therefore, Lin Xian's luck was truly invincible. From the moment she was born, she felt that Lin Xian was her father. She didn't understand this, but she was close to Lin Xian. That was it. If this wasn't luck, then what was? "Tisk, you're the stupid one," Ling Ying mumbled. Soon Morongqing walked in, followed by several beautiful waitresses. "Just leave the things here. You may leave." Yes. Lin Xian knew Morongqing's identity, but Ling Ying and the others didn't know that Morongqing was actually the boss behind Rose Heaven. However, they could feel that these people were respectful towards Morongqing, so they could naturally see something. But the boss of Rose Heaven was too exaggerated. They probably couldn't guess it. They probably thought that it was someone with more authority. After all, she was very strong. It's impossible for an ordinary person. Dragony, who was in his arms, seemed to have heard Morongqing's words. When she heard the door close, she poked her head out and stared at the food on the table without blinking, saliva almost dripping out of her mouth. Lin Xian secretly shook his head. Looks like there's another little foodie, but after all, this little girl is so small. Even a big apple is bigger than her stomach. Even if she's a foodie, how much can she fit? Lin Xian then carried her to the table. So cute. Ling Ying and the others all looked at Dragony in unison. She's too pretty and small. If she could grow to the size of a real person, she'd definitely be very pretty. But on the contrary, she's even cuter. She's definitely aroused the motherly love of these girls. "Come here, Dragony. Big sister will make something good for you." Ling Ying beckoned Dragony over with his hand. Dragony obediently ran in front of Ling Ying. Ling Ying then prepared a plate for her, and prepared a lot of delicious food. "Eat." "Thank you, big sister," Dragony said sweetly, and then ate with her bare hands. Although she's a little lacking in ladylike manners, it's still okay, quite cute. "Everyone eat too," Morongqing said. "Okay." Ling Ying didn't eat much, and didn't even finish the glass of red wine, when a timid voice came from the front. "Big sister." Ling Ying put down the wine glass, and couldn't help but open his mouth. This little girl's face is full of oil stains, and the most terrifying thing is that she's finished all the delicious food on the plate? Damn! Lin Xian, look at her. She's finished all the food on the plate. Ling Ying couldn't help but exclaim. "It can't be?" Lin Xian was also surprised. That plate of food might not be much for one person, but that plate of food could fill her stomach. However, looking at her now, this little girl's small stomach did not bulge at all. Moreover, she looked like she was not satisfied and wanted more delicious food. Let's not talk about other things first. We have to abide by the law of volume, right? You ate food that's bigger than your stomach, and your stomach didn't change? And you're still hungry? This, little girl, aren't you full? Lin Xian asked. Not full, I want more. Dragoni blinked her big eyes, and ran over to Lin Xian's side, wanting to give him a hug. Lin Xian. Maybe it's because she's one of the dragons, we can't use common sense to look at her. Morongqing said. Lin Xian rubbed her little head and said, I'm not hugging you. Your face is full of oil. Go find some sisters and let them feed you. I still want to eat. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Dragoni pouted her little mouth and made an aggrieved look. Daddy, you don't like me? Dragoni wanted to cry. Lin Xian scratched his head. Damn it, I'm not a woman. I don't even know how to take care of a kitten. How am I supposed to take care of a little girl? But I'm sure she'll follow me. She probably won't want to follow anyone else. No, I'm saying that those big sisters are pretty good. Let them prepare some good food for you. Be good. Lin Xian grinned and rubbed her little head. Hearing Lin Xian's words and Lin Xian's intimate actions, Dragoni giggled happily. Aha! Then she twisted in front of Ling Ying, hugged the plate, and looked at Ling Ying with pleading eyes. I'll cook for you. Just tell me how much you want to eat. I'll cook for you. Ling Ying smiled. Thank you, sister. Sister is second best. Dragoni said sweetly. Then who's first? Daddy. Dragoni said without hesitation. Ahem. Lin Xian couldn't help but cough. Chapter 698. Lin Xian was a bit embarrassed. He didn't even take care of her. How come he's the best? Don't tell me I'm not the best to you? Ling Ying leaned in front of the little girl and asked with a smile. Han Chushua couldn't help but laugh. What a pitiful girl. She's the best to this little girl. And then she's saying Lin Xian is the best. But they've only just met. Daddy is the best anyway. The little girl said with a childish voice. He's not even willing to feed you and you're the best. Morongqing teased. Because of Dragoni's appearance, they now have a lot of fun. Dragoni turned her head to look at Lin Xian and said. Yes, the best. Good. Let's eat. Ling Ying smiled. Lin Xian also couldn't help but laugh. This little girl. However, there was a spiritual connection between the two of them. For example, Lin Xian could feel how this girl was feeling, and sometimes even know what she was thinking. This girl could probably feel him as well. This was the powerful part of the contract. Anyway, Lin Xian found that what she said was true. Lin Xian, can I sleep with Chushua and Dragoni tonight? Ling Ying asked after a while. I don't mind. Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders. Chushua and I will help her make some clothes while we're at it. She can't have no clothes to wear. Morongqing said. Give me the measurements and I'll help find someone to make clothes for her. Okay. Then, Lin Xian turned to look at Dragoni, who was sitting on the table with a piece of cake in her hand and swinging her legs. Of course she heard their conversation. Dragoni, you can sleep with the two sisters tonight. They'll help you make a beautiful dress, okay? No. I want to sleep with Daddy. Dragoni shook her head decisively. Be good. No, Dragoni, don't leave Daddy. This little girl seems to listen to Lin Xian, but she can't leave Lin Xian. Anyway, they're in the same space, so she must be with Lin Xian. Then let's sleep together. Morongqing said with a smile. Swish. Ling Ying and Han Chushua's little face turned red. They seemed to understand the meaning behind Morongqing's words. That's right, that's what Morongqing meant. Ahem, let's sleep together? Lin Xian coughed dryly and said shamelessly. Go to hell. Ling Ying glared at Lin Xian. If Morongqing wasn't here, they might still be able to accept it half-heartedly. But with Morongqing here, they definitely couldn't do it. As for whether they could do it when Morongqing wasn't here, no one knew. But they really like this cute little girl. They even want to bathe her. Look at the grease and cream all over her body. They don't believe she won't bathe. But how can they let Lin Xian bathe her? Although they really couldn't do anything, cough. This girl was still a girl after all. She had all the qualities a girl should have. What if that Lin Xian was a pervert? This girl is so innocent. If Lin Xian knew what she's thinking, he'd be so aggrieved. Wah! How perverted must he be to do such a dirty thing? This girl is really... Okay, let's not talk anymore. Let's eat, I'm starving. Beautiful sister. I don't think this food is enough. Look at this girl. Lin Xian pointed at Dragoni. She's almost finished the second plate of good food. You'll notice that she doesn't seem to be eating fast. But when you look at her again after chatting for a while, damn, she's almost finished. This little stomach, is it a bottomless pit? Morongqing smiled and said, I'll make some more. The dragon race's thirst for food is very high. I still understand this point. Their consumption rate is also very fast. I just didn't expect such a little girl to have such a great thirst for food. Is it because the more she eats, the more powerful she gets? Lin Xian asked with a smile. You don't say. It seems to be true. Morongqing replied with a smile. But I don't know how powerful she is. Yes, how powerful is she? Logically speaking, those who are just born should be at their weakest, and need to slowly improve. This is a normal situation, but back in the sacred dragon flame cave, this little girl had used a single burst of flame to shatter the door that even Emperor Morongqing couldn't shatter. That was already very abnormal. And now looking at her, this harmless little girl, where does she look like in existence with even a little bit of power? I don't know when this dragon horn will disappear. Why should it disappear? It's super cute. Ling Ying said. But at least it's gone. Even if others see her, they won't recognize her as a dragon. Lin Xian said. Then protect her well. Ling Ying's finger gently stroked her little face. It seems like he loves this girl to death. Han Chushua also liked it, and would reach out to play with her. However, this girl's attention was all on the delicious food. When they touched her, it was as if she didn't feel anything. She completely ignored them, and continued to eat the delicious food. If you ask Lin Xian who is the most powerful foodie, it's obviously this girl. It didn't take long for them to fill their stomachs, but Dragoni still looked like she wanted more. How about I ask the chef to make some more and send it to the room? In case she's hungry at night, she can eat. Morongqing said. And thank you, sister. Lin Xian hasn't said anything yet, but Dragoni can't wait to nod her little head and suck her little hand in her mouth. Let's go. Morongqing stretched her body and was the first to walk out. Chushua, let's go back. Lin Xian said with a smile. Let's go together. Go, go, go. Who wants to go with you? Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. Hee, didn't you say you want to give her a bath and make her a temporary dress? Look at her body covered in oil. She can't not take a bath. Don't tell me you don't want me to give her a bath? The two girls looked at each other. Yes, she needs to take a bath. And the dress must be made first. But Lin Xian won't go and Dragoni won't be alone with them. So she can only share a room with Lin Xian. Hey, let's make it clear. You can't do anything excessive. Ling Ying pointed at Lin Xian and reminded. Of course, the main point is this girl, right? Lin Xian nodded again and again. Let's go. Lin Xian then put Dragoni in his arms, and followed behind them with a smirk on his face. Every time, he would say that he wasn't that bad. But every time, he would let Lin Xian have his way. Now wasn't he falling into Lin Xian's trap again, and falling into Lin Xian's schemes? Looking at the smirk on this guy's face, they know he's up to no good. Chapter 699. Inside the hotel room, Lin Xian and the rest walked in one after another. You go take a shower first. Ling Ying took Dragoni from Lin Xian's arms and faced Lin Xian. I just took a shower before dinner. But look at your chest. Ling Ying pointed and Lin Xian looked down. Okay. This girl ate until she was covered in oil, and then she snuggled into his arms. Now her chest was covered in oil. Lin Xian then glared at Dragoni, who stuck out her tongue cutely. In the future, you can eat as much as you want, but you can't dirty yourself. Do you hear me? Yes, Dragoni heard you. Then Lin Xian went into the bathroom to take a shower. As for Ling Ying and the rest, they were cultivating their relationship with Dragoni. In less than 5 minutes, Lin Xian came out. Let's go quickly, we have to help Dragoni bathe. Ling Ying and Han Chushua, who were full of motherly love, couldn't wait to carry Dragoni into the bathroom. Then Lin Xian heard the sound of the door being locked. Damn, the three of them were together, and they didn't lock the door when they were taking a shower. Now just how scary was he? Lin Xian had already prepared the red wine. He was going to do something big tonight. Lying on the bed, Lin Xian happily played with his phone. He hadn't checked his phone in a long time. They were all messages from Miao Xiao Miao, Lu Yufan, and the other girls. They knew that Lin Xian went to the Holy Dragon Flame Cave, and were worried about his safety. Lin Xian also replied to them one by one to let them know that he was safe. Of course, Lin Ye also replied. After returning, Lin Xian was relieved. Lin Ye and the others were also relieved. In the bathroom, Lin Xian didn't know what was going on, but he kept hearing their laughter. What's so funny about taking a bath? But that last Dragonese laughter was even more cheerful, making Lin Xian want to go over and see what they are doing. But reason prevailed over impulse, because Lin Xian knew that if he peeked, he would be done for. Although they didn't need to hide anything from each other, they were still girls. After all, they couldn't put aside their pride. It would be fine if there was only one, but it was different if there were more than one. The fact that Lin Xian was able to trick the two of them into bed together was already heaven-defying. Don't even think about other things. 10 minutes later, they came out with Dragoni in their arms. Subconsciously, Lin Xian turned to look at them. Don't look, turn around. Ling Ying blocked Han Chushua to protect Dragoni. At this moment, it was Han Chushua who was holding Dragoni. Okay, I won't look. Then what do you want me to do? You can play with your phone. After saying that, the two of them sat down on the sofa in front of the table with their backs facing Lin Xian. Dragoni, big sister will help you make some clothes. Ling Ying's tone suddenly became 100 times gentler. Lin Xian was envious. Then from the corner of his eye, he saw the two girls sewing and cutting the pajamas. He didn't know what kind of pajamas they would make. Little Ying, you can do it. Little Chushua, come and chat with me. I'm so bored. Lin Xian said. Han Chushua's pretty face blushed a little and whispered, I have to help Ling Ying. Daddy, Dragoni can chat with Daddy. Dragoni's voice came from the other side. Forget it, you don't have to. Just try on the clothes. Lin Xian rubbed his forehead. About 20 minutes later, Ling Ying clapped his hands. Okay. Lin Xian looked over. Oh, although the dress wasn't very exquisite, but at least everyone could see that it was made of pajamas. As for the length, it should be safe as long as it's below Dragoni's knee. Dragoni jumped happily. This jump was about 4 or 5 meters. For a martial artist, this isn't much, but if you take into account her body size, these 4 or 5 meters are equivalent to Lin Xian's 10 meters. She then jumped directly onto the bed and landed next to Lin Xian's legs. Daddy! Dragoni climbed onto Lin Xian's lap and sat down, her big eyes looking at Lin Xian with anticipation. Good. Lin Xian said while rubbing her little head. Hee. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Dragoni was especially happy as if she was being praised by her teacher. This scene made Ling Ying and Han Chushua envious. No wonder they signed a contract. In Dragoni's heart, no matter how good they are to her, they can't replace Lin Xian's position in her heart. But it doesn't matter too much. They just liked the cute little Dragoni, and their motherly love was aroused. They were envious of Lin Xian. But if they were jealous, then they would have to consider the relationship between the two of them. Chushua, are you sleepy? Ling Ying asked Han Chushua. Han Chushua nodded. A little. Then let's go to sleep. You take Dragoni back. Ling Ying then pointed at Lin Xian. After all, Dragoni has to be with Lin Xian. They can't keep her. But maybe they'll get to know each other better in the future. Me? Where are we going? Lin Xian appeared to be at a loss. Where do you think we're going? Take Dragoni back to your room to sleep. Dragoni comfortably climbed onto Lin Xian's stomach and rubbed against it. This is my room. Lin Xian said. Stinking hooligan, hurry up and go back. It's been a tiring day, it's time to rest. Pack. Lin Xian then turned off the light at the head of the bed. Once the light is turned off, it'll make people subconsciously think of something. Don't say anything, come up and sleep. I'm not going to do anything. Lin Xian said. You. In the darkness, the two girls' faces were flushed red. Alright, since Dragoni is here, he probably won't dare to do anything. Ling Ying then grabbed a quilt and sat down with Han Chushua on the bed. She then crawled under a quilt. Dragoni, do you want to sleep here with big sister? In the middle of the night, Ling Ying turned around and looked at Dragoni lying on the pillow. Dragoni wants to sleep with Daddy, Dragoni said in a childish voice. Actually, I have an idea, Lin Xian said. Ling Ying and Han Chushue laid on the bed and looked at Lin Xian. Then Lin Xian hugged Dragoni and crawled under the quilt, placing Dragoni in the middle. Isn't this fine? The faces of the two girls turned extremely red. Bastard. In the end, after thinking about it, it's fine as long as he doesn't do anything. Also, it's quite fun to make Dragoni sleep. Lin Xian really didn't do anything. He just slowly moved in between the two girls and hugged them in each hand. Dragoni then realized that there's no place for her to go. After a night of silence, the two girls were tired and gradually fell asleep. By the time they woke up, it was already noon the next day. They had slept for such a long time. Shoo! Lin Xian and the girls looked at each other. Ling Ying carefully sat up because Dragoni was sleeping very soundly. Chapter 700. Dragoni is probably still in the process of absorbing energy. During this process, she needs a lot of sleep. This isn't strange, she's especially noisy when she's making a ruckus. But when she's sleeping, she's more sound asleep than anyone else. They all went into the bathroom to wash up. Lin Xian, do you have any plans for today? Han Chushue asked a rare question. Although their relationship was indeed very good and extraordinary, Han Chushue rarely took the initiative to talk. Although she was cold, she was more shy than anyone else when she was shy. I'm going to find Xiao Linglong and the others. After all, they saved my life, so I'll go and thank them. Lin Xian said. There's also another reason. This time, he used up all of his spirit recovery pills. Maybe he didn't use much of the blood recovery pills, but he used a lot of the spirit recovery pills to recover spirit energy. He wants to see if he can get some more from her. These things are much better than recovery medicine. We'll go with you after all, she saved our lives. Ling Ying said. No need, they're shy with strangers. Although you've seen them several times, to be honest, you haven't spoken much. I'll go by myself. As for your thanks, I'll tell them on your behalf. Then okay, then I'll go to school with Chushue. You should also prepare yourself. It's almost time for the St. Brilliance Academy's entrance exam. After the exam, you'll have a chance to enter the St. Brilliance Academy's secret territory. Ling Ying said. Lin Xian nodded. They went to St. Brilliance Academy for two reasons. Firstly, they liked the school life. Otherwise, they wouldn't know what else they could do. Secondly, it was for the secret realm. Anyway, according to the news, there was a chance to increase one's attribute power in the secret realm. At the same time, even if it didn't work, one could at least increase one's level. The secret realm was similar to a small world. There were some opportunities, and even some rare spiritual items. Anyway, it was purely up to one's luck. Then take care of Dragoni. I'll go to school with Chushue. Ling Ying wiped his face and walked out with Han Chushue. Just thinking about Linglong Shui and the others gave Lin Xian a headache. Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue only had 20 days to complete the mission. Linglong Yu had more than a month to complete it. In other words, Lin Xian would have to take care of the three of them in about a month's time. Oh God! Lin Xian swore that this was definitely the most difficult mission ever. The favorability level was indeed raised to about 50, but for girls like them, it might be 70. If you didn't have a good opportunity and method, the confession would fail. Moreover, perhaps Lin Xian was more confident that he could take down one of them within 20 days. But what about three? If they didn't live together and didn't know each other, it would still be fine. But if they lived together every day, how could he take them all down? What was the difficulty equivalent to? In fact, compared to Lin Xian taking down Ling Ying and Han Chushue, this was several times more difficult. Ling Ying and Han Chushue were already very generous. Even Lin Xian admired them. Would Linglong Shui and the others be as generous? Such excellent girls, they're willing to be with other girls. Thinking about it, Lin Xian's head was about to explode. Daddy, are you unhappy? Lin Xian sat on the edge of the bed and turned to look at Dragoni. Rubbing her big eyes, she slowly crawled over to Lin Xian's lap and looked up at Lin Xian. I'm not unhappy, just a little troubled. Lin Xian sighed. Dragoni will be very good. I won't let Daddy be troubled. Dragoni said softly. Lin Xian looked at her and couldn't help but smile. This girl thought he was troubled because of her? Okay, be good and be good. Are you hungry? She rubbed her little belly. Can I be hungry? Dragoni asked weakly. Lin Xian laughed. This girl actually cared so much about what he thought. She even thought that she might trouble Lin Xian if she was hungry, causing him to worry. In the future, if there's anything you need, just tell me. Also, my troubles are not because of you. Lin Xian gently scratched her delicate little nose, then said, Go wash your face. I'll go get you something good to eat. Thank you, Daddy. Dragoni then flew up and gave Lin Xian a peck on the cheek, then flew barefooted to the bathroom. Lin Xian's mouth fell open. Damn, this girl can fly after sleeping for an entire night? She didn't have any wings, she was just flying in the air. Lin Xian knows that dragons can fly, but that still needs to reach a certain level, right? This girl is getting more and more mysterious. Although Lin Xian doesn't know much about dragons, but he knows that there's a big difference between this girl and normal dragons. It can also be said that she's a lot stronger than the average dragon at this stage. Her birth is strange, she's a little girl. No matter how strong your dragon's bloodline is, you can't be born with a human body, right? She even hatched from a dragon egg. As for the reason, although Lin Xian doesn't know, he can more or less guess. It's either she's been absorbing power for who knows how many years in the Holy Dragon Cave, or her mother did something for her. Dragon Pearl? That's not the reason. This girl's learning ability is very strong. She can turn the faucet on her own, wash her own face. There's no need to worry about her ability to take care of herself. Lin Xian ordered the food from the hotel, and it was quickly delivered. That's right, a table full of food. After all, he's seen this girl's appetite. It's simply terrifying. But since it's dragons, Lin Xian is used to it. Lin Xian and Dragoni really finished the table full of food. Let's go, you can't run out without my permission, you hear me? Lin Xian patted Dragoni, who snuggled into his arms. Okay. Then he walked out. It was snowing in Lin City today. Lin Xian, who was in the house, didn't know that the entire Lin City had turned into a vast expanse of white when he went out. Snow was still falling like goose feathers. It probably hadn't stopped since last night. It was December now, and snow was considered normal. After all, it was winter, and January and February were the coldest periods. The pedestrians on the road are mostly wearing cotton-padded jackets and down jackets. Take a look at Lin Xian. She's still wearing a sweater and a jacket. But to him, even if it's minus 50 degrees Celsius, it's not a problem. What's more, there's a heat pack in his arms. This Dragoni is really warm. On WeChat, there's a message from Linya, telling Lin Xian that it's snowing outside. If he can wear more clothes, she probably knows when Lin Xian will come back. She's probably still sleeping, so she didn't call, and only sent a message to remind him. This simple reminder is really full of warmth. Chapter 701. Little Dragoni, are you cold? Although Lin Xian felt that his question was a bit idiotic, but even though this little girl has clothes, it's very simple and crude. He's just concerned about this little girl. After all, she's so small. Although she's of the fire attribute, it wouldn't be good if she couldn't withstand the cold. Daddy, are you cold? Dragoni actually asked Lin Xian back. Normally, this kind of little girl would answer whatever you asked her. However, she turned around and asked if Lin Xian was cold. What does this mean? This little girl's IQ is a bit high. Maybe she's very simple. No, she's very simple. But her IQ is ridiculously high. After saying that, Lin Xian felt his chest heating up. No, I'm not cold. Lin Xian hurriedly said. If this girl released some kind of power and burned his clothes, that would be terrible. Oh. Dragoni's body became a bit more normal. What kind of power do you have, Dragoni? Lin Xian curiously asked while walking. Oh. Dragoni's voice came out from his arms. I don't know, Dragoni isn't too sure what I can do. Oh right, I can set fire. Dragoni said. Fire should be her most basic ability. Dragons are divided into many attributes: Thunder Dragon, Wind Dragon, Fire Dragon, and so on. Obviously she's a fire attribute dragon. As for other attributes, Lin Xian didn't know. Maybe she doesn't know herself. Asking now is a waste of time. After all, she doesn't know anything. She's just born, but I'm sure she'll know everything in the future. As they chatted, they soon arrived at Linglong Shue's residence. He talked a lot with Dragoni, but most of the time it was Lin Xian introducing her to the human world. Listening to him, Dragoni had a confused look on her face, but she's looking forward to it. Knock, knock, knock. Knocking on the door, Lin Xian heard footsteps coming from inside. Bing Lingyue opened the door for him. Hello, little Bing Bing. Lin Xian greeted Bing Lingyue. Bing Lingyue was stunned for a moment. Then she imitated Lin Xian and waved at him stiffly. It smells so good. Which one of you is cooking? Lin Xian walked in curiously. Ling Long is cooking. I wonder if it tastes good. Bing Lingyue said straightforwardly to Lin Xian. This should taste good. Did you bring anything delicious? Ling Longyue ran out of the kitchen and took a bite of the cucumber in her hand. She looked at Lin Xian and asked. No. Lin Xian shrugged. Then, Ling Longyue's face fell, and she looked a little disappointed. Lin Xian smiled and asked. 2 days ago, when I came over to ask you for help, didn't you say that there was a lot of good food? Don't you care? Why do you want me to bring good food now? At that time, they had been poisoned by television dramas. When Lin Xian invited her to go with him, she refused and even said that she didn't care. Anyway, I have money. I'm just too lazy to go out and buy, Ling Longyue said proudly. Bing Lingyue poured a cup of tea for Lin Xian and said, Have a seat and have a cup of tea. Among the three of them, Ling Longyue was like a child, Ling Longshue was like a big sister, and Bing Lingyue was like a gentle and virtuous mother. Of course, it didn't mean that Ling Longshue wasn't as mature as Bing Lingyue. It was just that. When did you see Lin Xian come over? And it was Ling Longshue who poured tea for Lin Xian. Wasn't it always Bing Lingyue? Most of the time, Bing Lingyue was the one who entertained the guests or went out. Maybe it was because of her personality. After all, Ling Longshue was relatively cold. Although Bing Lingyue was cold, she was like Linya. She was very gentle to special and important people. Lin Xian took the tea and drank a third of it in one gulp. Then he went to the kitchen. In the kitchen, Ling Longshue was stir-frying. It seemed like it was the first dish. There were some side dishes that should be prepared by Bing Lingyue and Lingyue. This girl seemed to be very serious. She was a little unfamiliar with it, and was a little flustered. Sometimes, she would be in a daze as if she was thinking about what to add next. Did she add the condiments? Oh, red braised pork. Can you make such a difficult dish now? Lin Xian looked at the pot. It was indeed fragrant and looked good. This girl's culinary skills had reached such a level? Although red braised pork wasn't too difficult, it was a relatively complicated dish among the home-cooked dishes. He remembered that she only made shredded potatoes before. It seemed like she didn't put her heart and soul into the TV series. After being praised by Lin Xian, Ling Longshue actually felt a trace of joy in her heart. However, the expression on her face was still relatively indifferent. I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I wanted to make some. Do you want to try? To be honest, her attitude towards Lin Xian had changed so much that it was unbelievable. Even now she still asked him to try. After all, her favorability had reached 50. If her attitude didn't change, it would be abnormal. After all, this was the result of Lin Xian's hard work every day. Before Lin Xian could say anything, Dragoni's little head popped out from his collar. Yao's sense of smell is very developed. Ling Longshue saved them before so Dragoni could recognize Ling Longshue's scent. She could also sense that she wasn't human, but she was a very powerful Yao. This scene was super cute. A beautiful little head popped out from Lin Xian's collar. Her big eyes were especially lively as she looked at the pot. Dragoni wants to eat, Dragoni said happily. Ling Longshue looked at the little girl again. Yeah, when Ling Longyue saw Dragoni, she couldn't help but jump up and pull her into a hug. So cute. Ling Longyue pinched Dragoni's pink cheeks. This little girl looked a little sad. You air. Ling Longshue scolded softly. The Void Fox was a top-tier demon race, and so was the dragon race. Even though Ling Longyue didn't use much strength to knead her, Ling Longyue felt that it was disrespectful to the dragon race. After all, Ling Longyue was a very serious person. Ling Longyue stuck out her pink tongue and hugged Dragoni. Do you want to eat? Ling Longyue asked. Yes, Dragoni replied in a cute voice. Then call sister and I'll let you eat. Sister? Hee. Ling Longyue laughed in satisfaction. Let's go. I still have a bag of chips that I can't bear to eat. I can give you 2 chips. Lin Xian's mouth twitched. Can you give me more? At most 3, no more. She then led Dragoni out of the room, chatting happily with Dragoni. She's the youngest in the family. Now that she met an even younger one, she always had to be controlled. But now, she's an elder sister too. Ling Longyue was especially excited. Chapter 702. Is this the girl you brought out of the Holy Dragon Flame Cave? Ling Longshui asked. Lin Xian nodded. Yeah, I didn't expect it either. She seems to have recognized you as her master. Yeah, I didn't expect it either. Ling Longshui reminded him. Maybe it's nothing to you. And I don't want to say much to you humans. But even if she's willing, it's best not to let the dragons know about this. Dragons have their own pride. If they find out that a dragon has recognized a human as her master, they'll be furious. No way. Most of the time, yes. Lin Xian muttered. Do the dragons care so much? Her own mother didn't say anything, and just asked me to take good care of her. Although we're from the same clan, we don't know each other, and we're not related by blood. But she's a dragon. She represents the dragons. So far as I know, there have only been dragons that died in the hands of humans. There have also been dragons that became friends with humans, but no dragons that recognized humans as their masters. Ling Longshui said to Lin Xian while stir-frying. Bing Lingyue walked in and helped Ling Longshui with the side dishes. In my era, I only know that there was one empire that was the most powerful, because the emperor of that empire had a dragon as his companion. This dragon companion would not help him conquer other empires, but it was extremely powerful and would help him guard the empire. Therefore, no other empire dared to attack him. Perhaps the strength of a dragon is not very frightening, but behind the dragon is the dragon race. The dragon race should be the most protective, but also the most rigid race. However, dragons and other demon beasts of the same realm, in terms of destructive power, dragons are simply too terrifying, especially when they transform into their true form. The strength of a 1,000-meter-long dragon might be at that realm, but the range is unimaginable. Bing Lingyue sighed. That's right. They're rigid. Dragons have their rules. If they can't, then they can't. Ling Longshui nodded. Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders indifferently. Who cares? I've lived for 21 years, almost 22. I've only ever heard of dragons, but I've never seen one. Even if they're stubborn and protective of their loved ones. As long as I don't see other dragons, they won't know of Dragoni's existence. I hope so. Ling Yu, come and have a taste. Ling Longshui asked Lin Xian if he wanted to eat, but the topic was changed to Dragoni. She wouldn't ask again, so she turned to Bing Lingyue. Give it to Lin Xian, Bing Lingyue said with a smile. Bing Lingyue was smart enough to see that Lin Xian liked Ling Longshui. As for whether he liked her or not, she didn't know. To Lin Xian and Ling Longshui, she was just a bystander. As the saying goes, the onlooker has a clearer view of the situation, but when it comes to herself, she's just a bystander. Bing Lingyue didn't care about being matched in terms of social status. She thought that if she liked someone, the other party wouldn't hate her. Plus, she also thought that Lin Xian was a good guy. Since he had the heart, she would help him a little, but it wouldn't be too obvious. As for whether it would work out or not, it had nothing to do with her. As for Ling Longshui, in Bing Lingyue's eyes she was perfect. However, she was too cold and too proud. She took the initiative to ask Lin Xian for a taste, which already made Bing Lingyue feel that she had a good impression of Lin Xian. However, no matter how good her impression of Ling Longshui was, she would not ask a second time, even if she wanted Lin Xian to eat it. Bing Lingyue saw it clearly, so she pushed it to Lin Xian. Some people might ask, isn't it just a taste test? How can it improve their relationship? That would depend on one's ability. Let me try. Not everyone can enjoy the food cooked by Xiao Linglong. Even those in the heavenly venerable realm, absolute void realm, and heavenly Tao realm can't eat the food cooked by Xiao Linglong even if they beg. As for me, TSK, I'm really lucky. Lin Xian said with a smile. Linglong Shui wouldn't be happy because of a compliment. Otherwise, she wouldn't be Linglong Shui. Even if it was Lin Xian's compliment, the effect would be a little bit, but not much. If Lin Xian's compliment could make her happy for a few days, then she wouldn't be Linglong Shui, unless her favorability towards Lin Xian reached 70 to 80. However, it would be difficult to improve her impression of Linglong Shui. For a girl like Linglong Shui, although it was difficult to make her have a favorable impression of you, once her favorable impression of you reached a certain level, it would cause a qualitative change. What was Lin Xian's advantage? That's right, Lin Xian had her before. This was actually Lin Xian's advantage. Could you say that Linglong Shui didn't care? Of course she cared. Could you say that the favorability of 50 favorability wasn't one of the reasons? Of course it was. It was even a large part of the reason. For example, Lin Xian once had a relationship with Ling Ying. In the end, he directly skipped the confession stage and confirmed their relationship before falling in love. In fact, Linglong Shui had the same logic, but it was more difficult. Okay, after all you taught me. If there's anything I'm lacking, you can point it out immediately. Linglong Shui could be considered to have found an excuse for herself. I want you to feed me, ah. Lin Xian opened his mouth and looked like he was asking for food. Bing Lingyue, who was cutting vegetables at the side, smiled. If it was just a simple taste and evaluation, it wouldn't be a big deal. However, Lin Xian was Lin Xian. If he could say feed me, then this simple taste test would have something else added to it. This was what Bing Lingyue wanted to see. She had to admit that if she knew more, she could definitely become Lin Xian's best wingman. No, she could become Lin Xian's wingman now. Lin Xian suddenly realized something. That's right. Wasn't Bing Lingyue here? Although he had to woo all three, he had to win one over first. Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue were together every day. They were as close as sisters. They would definitely talk about everything. If he could make Bing Lingyue his wingman to woo Linglong Shui, for example, they could sleep together at night and talk. When they talked about him, Bing Lingyue could help to sound out Linglong Shui's opinion, or she could help to put in a good word for Lin Xian. That would be perfect. If he succeeded, then how to woo Bing Lingyue would be a big problem. This was the Empress. How could the Empress be willing to share a husband with another woman? This was crazy. Lin Xian realized that these missions were the most F***king difficult ones. Linglong Shui frowned slightly. Help yourself. You have to feed me. I have no chopsticks. How troublesome. Just use a spatula to get me a piece. Then Linglong Shui handed Lin Xian a pair of chopsticks. Chopsticks were next to the cooking utensils. Lin Xian. Ouch! Aya. I suddenly remembered that several fingers on my right hand were injured in the Holy Dragon Flame Cave. I can't use chopsticks. Chapter 703. Bing Lingyue tried not to laugh. This Lin Xian was really shameless. It's up to you. Linglong Shui said. Is it that hard to feed me? Lin Xian said helplessly. You're not a kid. You're so unromantic. Little Bing Lingyue, if it were you, would you feed me? Lin Xian asked his super wingman. I won't. Lin Xian was speechless. That's not right. This wingman can't fly anymore. Bing Lingyue was too smart. If she said feed, it would be too obvious. Linglong Shui wasn't a fool. Of course she could tell, so she didn't say anything. Fine. You're bullying me because I'm innocent. Then Lin Xian reached out and pinched a piece. Linglong Shui frowned. Really, how could he pinch it? If this was in the past, Lin Xian would have flown out. No, Linglong Shui wouldn't have given Lin Xian any. But now, she was more interested in Lin Xian's comment. How is it? Linglong Shui was quite fond of cooking. What she loved the most was the food she made herself. The satisfaction she felt when her family and friends ate it happily was something she had never experienced in her entire life. Did you add salt? Lin Xian frowned and asked. A little. Didn't you say that when you make braised pork, The soy sauce is already very flavorful. But if you add too much salt, it will be salty? Is it not flavorful enough? It was Ling Longshue's first time making this dish. She was looking forward to it, but she didn't dare to try it first. It's a little bland and, he glanced at it and said, I'll bet with you that you didn't add salt. Do you want to bet? Ling Longshue was unhappy. How could she not know if there was salt or not? She had made it herself, and had even remembered what Lin Xian had told her to put less salt. How could she not? What are we betting on? Since she was sure, she wasn't afraid of gambling. Then she picked up a piece for herself and frowned. It did smell good, but the taste was a little too sweet. Was there too much sugar? She couldn't remember, so that was the only explanation. What are we betting on? Lin Xian thought for a moment and said, If you lose, kiss me. If I lose, I'll kiss you. Ling Longshue. Bing Lingyue was speechless. Lin Xian scratched his head awkwardly, as the surrounding air fell silent. Ahem, I was just joking. Lin Xian broke the silence and said with a smile. Ling Longshue wouldn't get angry, because of Lin Xian's words. If it was in the past, she would naturally get angry because he was teasing her. However, now that her favorability towards him had reached such a level, she wouldn't get angry. Lin Xian continued. How about this, Xiao Ling Long? Do you have any more spiritual revitalization pills? Ling Longshue nodded. When I went back last time, I went back to my place and brought some back. Do you need them? She really didn't need the spiritual revitalization pills this time. In fact, she had brought a lot of things back, because she wouldn't go back to her place if she didn't need them. She didn't need the spiritual revitalization pills, but she knew that Lin Xian needed them, so she brought them. In fact, she had prepared them for Lin Xian. However, she definitely couldn't bring them to Lin Xian and tell him that she brought them for him. That wouldn't be Ling Longshue. Lin Xian nodded. These spiritual revitalization pills saved my life in the Holy Dragon Flame Cave, but I've used them all. Fortunately, you still have some. Lin Xian grinned. Even if I do, you have to have the ability to take them away. Ling Longshue mumbled. She didn't know how long it had been since she said such things. They were obviously for Lin Xian. Of course. Then your spiritual revitalization pills will be our bet if you lose. How about it? Okay. Ling Longshue nodded. Then what if you lose? She asked. Tell me. Lin Xian really didn't know what he had that Ling Longshue would like. Ling Longshue thought about it. She really didn't know what Lin Xian could give her. The obedient spray from last time? She hadn't used it yet, so she didn't need it for the time being. Then she looked at Bing Lingyue and suddenly thought of something. If you lose, then you have to help Lingyue and make her ice element pure. Is that okay? Lin Xian nodded without hesitation. Of course. Bing Lingyue looked at Ling Longshue and was quite touched. Then how do I identify it? Ling Longshue was puzzled again. Lin Xian smiled. Easy. Tell me how much salt you put in just now. Half a spoonful. From the jar? Ling Longshue said. You'll definitely lose. How can I not know if I put in salt or not? After saying that, she took the jar and opened it. Then have a taste. Lin Xian said with a smile. Lin Xian didn't know if she put in salt or not. Because of the light soy sauce, he couldn't tell if there was salt or not. But Lin Xian tasted it, and it was a little sweet. He had taught Ling Longshue how much seasoning to put in. She was so smart that she could definitely remember how much seasoning to put in. Therefore, if it was made normally, it wouldn't be too sweet. In fact, it wasn't that sweet, but Lin Xian was too familiar with this taste. Plus, his cultivation wasn't low, so he could sense it. Of course, so far, it was just a guess. Lin Xian guessed that Ling Longshue put sugar in the half a spoonful of salt. This was actually very silly, but it was easy to make a small mistake. Of course, it was all a guess. If she lost, she lost. Ling Longshue frowned slightly and sniffed. She couldn't smell it, so she dipped her finger in it and tasted it. It was sweet. She was very sure that the salt she put in was this. So it was sugar. But there was a jar of sugar. She hurriedly tasted the jar of sugar. It was also sugar. She was convinced. She remembered that when the jar of salt was used up, she asked Ling Longyu to fill it up with salt. She actually put sugar in it. Ling Longshui really wanted to say that she was innocent, but she really lost. This was also the truth. How is it? Lin Xian saw Ling Longshui's expression and knew that he guessed right. As a man, it was better to be smart. There's sugar in the salt jar. Ling Longshui said helplessly. Give me something. Lin Xian said with a smile. Ling Longshui then said, I'll give it to you when you leave. That's fine too. Lin Xian nodded. Ling Longshui then asked, Can you fix it? She really put in a lot of effort to make this dish, but she didn't expect it to be ruined by Ling Longyu. Indeed, Ling Longshui couldn't be blamed for this. The jars of seasonings at home were all specially made for those who would go and taste the seasonings when cooking at home. Lin Xian said, Actually, it's already very delicious. Ling Longshui shook her head. If she put something wrong, it wouldn't be perfect. She still preferred perfection. Chapter 704. Lin Xian scratched his head. It's actually very simple. Just add a little water and a little salt. That simple? Ling Longshui didn't know much about cooking. Lin Xian, yes, it's that simple. Of course, it won't be as good as normal, but it can make up for it. Your cooking is already quite good. Red braised pork needs to be a little sweet. Ling Longshui didn't know that Lin Xian was just comforting her. Yes, it's not bad. It's just a little bit sweet. It's fine if you eat it normally. Even Ling Longshui would think that it's quite good. But she knew that if she didn't add any salt, she wouldn't be able to do it. This was a serious attitude. She had been like this since she was young. In the end, she added a little water and a little salt to salvage the situation. Ling Longshui took a bite and felt that it wasn't bad. Satisfied, she took it out. Outside, Ling Longyu was playing with Dragoni. When they saw the good food, the two girls couldn't help but stare. Ling Longshui covered the plate and said to Ling Longyu, Let's eat together after you're done. Then she went to the kitchen to make the next dish. Lin Xian shook his head. If you ask an expert if he likes to cook, what can you do? Lin Xian didn't know either. But it was a good thing. Lin Xian, come over here and give me some guidance. Ling Longshui poked her head out. There's a fee. Then Lin Xian went over. Ding. You can feel Bing Lingyue's disappointment. Adonis points plus 100,000. Allah. Lin Xian was taken aback by the sudden system notification. What's going on? In Lin Xian's memory, there weren't many notifications about Bing Lingyue's emotions. But this time, what was going on? Lin Xian couldn't think of anything. Then why would Bing Lingyue's emotions fluctuate? Actually, it was quite simple. Do you think Lin Xian is important to her? Friends were also very important, especially when she saw Lin Xian and Ling Ying's musical stage play. Her emotions fluctuated greatly, but her memories were changed. However, in her heart, Lin Xian had always been a very vague but very close existence. She didn't quite understand it herself. The bet between Lin Xian and Ling Longshui was that if Lin Xian lost, he would help her improve her ice attribute. Although Lin Xian won, he never mentioned it again. Ling Longshui's and Lin Xian's attributes were both improved by Lin Xian, but she never asked for it. In fact, it didn't matter whether she had it or not. But Lin Xian never mentioned it to her. So in Lin Xian's heart, was she not important at all compared to Ling Longshui and the others? So she was disappointed. It wasn't that Lin Xian didn't care about her, but he never tried to win her over. Under Lin Xian's guidance, Ling Longshui personally cooked the dishes and completed them perfectly. Let's eat, let's eat. The dishes on the table made their eyes shine. Lin Xian tasted them and said, You will definitely become a chef in the future. Ling Longshui coughed slightly and took a sip of tea. She was secretly happy. This should be his affirmation. Let's eat. Then they ate the dishes contentedly. Xiaoling Long, you still haven't answered me. Why did you appear in the Holy Dragon Flame Cave? Lin Xian asked as he picked up a piece of meat. Dragoni had Ling Longyue to look after her. As long as there was someone else, Dragoni's food could be prepared. Lin Xian was still not used to taking care of others. Actually, she didn't need to be taken care of, but he had to prepare some food for her. She was so small. Did he want her to eat from all the plates? Sister specially. Ling Longyue was interrupted by Ling Longxue halfway through her sentence. Linglong Shui said. It's nothing. I just suddenly remembered that the Holy Dragon Flame Cave was a place where a dragon fell. Even so, the danger is unimaginable. I just went to see if there was anything particularly dangerous. But coincidentally, the cave collapsed. So you're saying that you specially went to save me? Lin Xian grinned. No. Linglong Shui lightly replied. Okay, no. Lin Xian was still very happy. So she suddenly remembered that there might be danger, and was worried about him. She specially went to save him. He was quite happy. I just didn't. Linglong Shui said again. Okay, no, I believe you. Lin Xian smiled and nodded. Linglong Shui couldn't be bothered with him anymore, as she quietly ate the food that she had cooked. By the way, Xiao Linglong, what kind of law and domain do you have? Lin Xian curiously asked. In his memory, they didn't seem to have released any law or domain power, except for their own attribute power. He was also about to step into the law realm, and was still 2 stars away. Although he might not be able to comprehend a law after stepping into the law realm, Lin Xian was still quite concerned. So why hadn't Lin Xian seen them release a law or domain before? You could imagine that law and domain were the upgraded version of attribute power. Although they might not be the same kind of power, they were basically related to your attribute. When your attribute power couldn't do something, such as not having much effect on the enemy in battle, then it would be the law's turn. It was a kind of progressive increase in power. Because Lin Xian hadn't seen them meet a troublesome enemy, it was normal that he hadn't seen them release a law or domain. The release of law and domain consumed much more spiritual energy than the release of attribute power. As for law and domain, they were things that a cultivator couldn't easily reveal. You and I used the law power passed down in our family, the doppelganger law. Doppelganger? Lin Xian was stunned. Wow. Sure enough, it wasn't necessarily related to space. If a person's law was related to their attribute, then it wouldn't be strong. The more unrelated it was, the more powerful it would be. Linglong Shui nodded. Doppelganger has the same battle strength and attributes. It can assist in battle, but the consumption is higher. Actually, Linglong Shui telling Lin Xian, this already showed that she trusted Lin Xian a lot. Then what about domain? Create a domain that doesn't consume any spiritual energy. Allah, Linglong Yu said. Aya, simply put, as long as we fight in this domain, all of the martial arts that I and sister release will be replenished with spiritual energy. This means that we won't consume any spiritual energy at all. Moreover, all of the enemies in the domain will be deprived of their spiritual energy. When releasing martial arts, any place that requires spiritual energy will consume double the spiritual energy. Lin Xian. Holy shit. A domain that doesn't need to worry about spiritual energy consumption. Isn't this a F*** bombardment? And the opponent is consuming double the spiritual energy. This F***. This is law and domain? So powerful. Chapter 705. Then Lin Xian looked at Bing Lingyue. Bing Lingyue said, Mine is a bit more ordinary compared to the others. My law is extreme ice body. The general effect is that my ice attribute power will double and my realm will rise a bit. It makes me want to have my own law as soon as possible. Lin Xian rubbed his palms together in anticipation. This law simply allowed a martial artist's battle prowess to increase by several times. It's too important. You can't rush it. First, you need to advance to the realm of law. Second, you need to be able to feel it. It's easier for me and you because our bloodline is already set. Linglong Shui said. Lin Xian nodded. I understand. This meal was a happy one. In fact, Lin Xian wanted to find an opportunity to take one of them out to play and interact with them. Of course, his first choice was Linglong Shui. After all, Lin Xian had spent a lot of effort on Linglong Shui, and the results were good. But in the end, he thought about it, and decided to wait for the next opportunity. Dragoni, why don't you play with the other sisters? They have a lot of good food here. Lin Xian said with a smile as he rubbed Dragoni's face with his index finger. Dragoni quickly shook her head. No, Dragoni wants to follow Daddy. The way she called Lin Xian Daddy made him feel like he was acting out. Okay, then follow me. Dragoni puckered her lips and flew into Lin Xian's embrace. Lifting her head up, she looked at Lin Xian and asked, "Papa, do you not like me? Dragoni will be good. I won't make Daddy unhappy." "No, I don't dislike you. Why would I worry about that?" Lin Xian's index finger rubbed against her rosy cheeks again. "Because Daddy always wants Dragoni to follow other sisters," Xiaolong said, feeling wronged. That's right. It's no wonder she felt that Lin Xian doesn't like her. If you like someone, of course you want to be with that person forever. Dragoni also understands this. So whenever Lin Xian asked her to follow someone else, she would think that Lin Xian doesn't like her. Actually, it was understandable for her to have such thoughts. If it were Lin Xian would also feel the same way. "No." Lin Xian smiled and said, "It's just that I'm often outside, and I don't have much time to take you out to play. However, those sisters are kind, fragrant, and can take you out to eat delicious food. I mainly think that you will be bored if you follow me." The surrounding girls couldn't help but roll their eyes at Lin Xian. "It's fine if you say that those sisters are nice, but you also have a fragrant body. That makes it easy for people to think too much." "No, Dragoni will be happy as long as Daddy is by my side," Dragoni said while rubbing her head against Lin Xian's chest. Okay, as long as you are willing," Lin Xian said with a doting smile. "Uh-huh." Lin Xian then looked at the girls and said, "Then I'll be going first. It's really nice to come over and freeload a meal." Here. Linglong Shui threw 2 small bottles to Lin Xian. Lin Xian reached out and caught them. "That's all I have left. I don't have any more." Lin Xian weighed the 2 jade bottles in his hand. The previous one had 8 pills, but this time it seems there are a lot more. Opening it up, he was shocked. It was filled to the brim, and there were at least 30 of them in total. "That's it," Linglong Shui said. "Unless I refine more and need more materials." "Then do you know how to refine?" Linglong Shui nodded. This Linglong Shui is really amazing. She even knows how to refine pills. Forget it. We'll talk about it later if I need it." Lin Xian smiled and waved his hand. If he could marry this Linglong Shui, then it would be. Lin Xian then left with Dragoni to the art pavilion group. Because of Dragoni's petite body, coupled with the cold weather, she's wearing a lot of clothes. Lin Xian didn't notice her hiding in Lin Xian's arms. In fact, he could have put her in the pockets of his coat, but that's not as warm and comfortable as hugging her. On the way, Lin Xian passed by some of the art pavilion group's shops. It's snowing outside, and the weather isn't good, but there's still a line outside the shops. It's been like this for many days now. As long as it's daytime, there's not a single moment where there isn't a line. This is because the customers aren't just from Lin City. There are people from other cities as well. Of course, they don't support mail orders, only physical stores. Why? Because if you want a mail order, there's just too many people on the 5 continents. You won't be able to keep up with the sales. However, if Lin Xian completes Xiao Xinyue's mission, then he can try to support mail orders in some places. For example, it's limited to China. As for the other 4 empires, he can forget about it because he's too busy. Lin Xian walked into the art pavilion group's building. It's already afternoon, so it's time to work. Lin Xian then went to Linya's office and knocked on the door. "Please come in." Lin Xian smiled and pushed the door open. Linya's first reaction when she saw Lin Xian was super surprised. Knowing that he's safely returned from the demon beast domain, Linya was relieved. As for whether he came to see her or not, she didn't care. Although she wanted to see Lin Xian, but she wanted him to improve himself faster in the outside world. "Why is it snowing so much, and you're only wearing this?" Linya's second reaction was worry. She quickly raised the temperature of the air conditioner and poured a cup of hot water for Lin Xian. Lin Xian smiled and sat on the sofa saying, "Little fairy, why don't you see what realm I'm in? You're only in the arcane body realm. Do you think you'll feel cold in this kind of environment?" Linya thought for a moment and said, "It doesn't seem too cold." "Of course. You're in the arcane body realm, and you're not too cold. So do you think I'll feel cold?" Lin Xian pinched Linya's pink cheeks and smiled. Linya rolled her eyes. "You still have to wear more. If you wear more, you have to take it off." Take it off. Lin frowned and looked at Lin Xian. Ahem. What I mean is that you have to take it off when you sleep. You're so lazy. Then I want a kiss, Lin Xian said with a grin. Lin Ya's little face blushed. Go away, don't mess around, I still have work to do. If you don't kiss me, I'll kiss you. Lin Xian revealed a naughty smile. Then, Lin Ya was still hesitating when Lin Xian directly kissed her pink cheeks, not going too far. Knock, knock, knock. Just as Lin Ya was still feeling shy, someone knocked on the office door. Lin Ya quickly sat up, tidied her messy hair, and composed herself. Come in. Then Lin Ya's secret technique walked in. President Lin, President Liao is outside to discuss work with you. Chapter 706. Chairman Liao? Lin Xian could guess who it was. Liao Jian. This guy had been tricked by Lin Xian and Morong Qing. He must have understood, but he couldn't fall out with them. It wouldn't do him any good if he did. The entire Sky Blue planet was paying attention to the development of the Art Xian group. The major families were also paying attention, waiting for them to develop a potion that could increase attribute purity. It didn't matter if it was real or fake. Anyone who dared to cause trouble with them before that was courting death. It might even have an impact on your own business. Falling out with the Art Xian group at this time? Wouldn't that be courting death? Where was the evidence? The contracts for dozens of factories had been signed, and they treated their workers so well. What should he do? Act in secret. On the surface, it seemed harmonious, but who knew what he was doing in secret? Liao Jian walked into the Art Xian group. He had to admit that in such a short time, the Art Xian building had grown to such a scale. Even if there were only 2 types of potions, it was already a huge profit. Earning $1 billion a day, he was envious. This time, he was here for the cooperation. It was best if he didn't fall out with Lin Xian, but it didn't mean that others couldn't. For example, Lin and city's government. But this was only in theory. After all, at this time, even the government wouldn't dare to find trouble with the Art Xian group. If it was just an ordinary group, the government wouldn't be afraid, even if it was extremely developed. But the Art Xian group was the most special one, because its business was highly respected by the world. Even the 3 major forces were highly respected. If they did break the law, it wouldn't matter, and everyone would abandon them. But if they didn't break the law, wouldn't they be scolded to death if they tried to find trouble with them? As for the formulas of the 2 types of potions, who knew how many groups and families were researching? But no matter how hard they tried, it was to no avail. In fact, Liao Jian understood that he only had a grudge against Lin Xian. It had nothing to do with the Art Xian group. He even wanted to cooperate with the Art Xian group. Although he wasn't happy, he had to admit that it was for his own good. So he decided to cooperate first. He had already made a secret agreement. Lin Xian wouldn't live for long. At that time, they might be able to seize power. Lin Xian had to die. Since he dared to trick him and use him, then he could only wait to die. If he had known earlier, he would not have been bewitched by her beauty. If the Art Xian group's building was not sold to them, as far as he knew, there would not be any buildings for sale in a short period of time. There would only be rentals, and things like renting could kill people. He wasn't afraid at all, so he regretted it very much. Otherwise, this Art Xian group wouldn't have been able to become the tyrant of Lin and City Group in such a short period of time. But now, everything was too late. Most importantly, can you imagine a newly established corporation that sells 1 billion yuan a day? This was something that had never happened since ancient times. Moreover, there were many beautiful women in the Art Xian group, especially those 2. Liao Jian couldn't flirt with one of them. That was Morong Qing. Every time he talked to her, he would be tricked. He already felt from the bottom of his heart that this woman was not to be trifled with. However, there was another one, Lin Ya. She was also very beautiful. Lin Ya was Lin Xian's sister. He knew this. As long as Lin Xian died, as long as he could woo Lin Ya, wouldn't the entire corporation be his? As for his own wife, what would she be then? Knock, knock, knock. Liao Jian adjusted his tie and knocked on Lin Ya's office door. Click, the office door was opened. Lin Ya's beautiful face came into view. Really? How could she be so beautiful? He couldn't take his eyes off her. President Liao, please come in. Lingling will make some tea. Liao Jian smiled and walked in. Then he frowned. There was another person on the sofa? President Liao, nice to meet you. Long time no see. Lin Xian stood up with a smile and reached out his hand to Liao Jian. Liao Jian quickly recovered and shook Lin Xian's hand with a smile. Why was this kid here? Lingling walked out after making the tea. President Liao, please take a seat. Linya sat on the sofa. Liao Jian thought that if he was alone with Linya, he might be able to do something. Now that Lin Xian was here, he couldn't do anything. Liao Jian sat down and looked at Lin Xian. Brother Lin, are you not busy today? I heard you went to the Holy Dragon Flame Cave. How was it? Oh, how did President Liao know that I went to the Holy Dragon Flame Cave? Lin Xian raised his eyebrows and looked at him with interest. He wasn't a famous person. Not many people knew that he went to the Holy Dragon Flame Cave. So how did Liao Jian know? He was investigating him, even investigating his every move. Oh, it's like this. Liao Jian spilled the beans, but he wasn't someone to be trifled with. He then said, I have a younger brother called Liao Jibang. You guys should know each other, right? After all, he told me that there was some friction between you and him. So when I met Brother Lin this time, I can apologize on behalf of my younger brother. He's a straightforward person, so Brother Lin, please don't take it to heart. He was the one who told me this news. He also wanted to go, but I rejected him because I heard that it was too dangerous. I see. Since President Lin said so, I can't be calculative. It's fine. Liao Jian smiled. Young Master Lin, don't call me President Liao. Call me Big Brother Liao. Lin Xian shook his head. That won't do. President Liao's status is so high, and I'm just a student. I can't take advantage of President Liao. Call him Big Brother Liao? Damn, you want to take advantage of me? Do I deserve it? Hee, then young Master Lin is thinking too much. Forget it, let's not talk about this. I'm here to talk to you about cooperation. Linya said. I wonder what kind of cooperation President Liao wants to talk about. Cooperation? They didn't need anything. They could make money steadily, and they had plenty of funds. The only place they could cooperate with was the store. Liao Jian also knew this. He also knew that cooperation would definitely be beneficial to him. So this time, he really hoped to cooperate with them. In fact, there was a situation now. He didn't have any capital to talk to them. So it could be considered as trying his luck and playing the emotional card. Liao Jian took a sip of tea and said, When I sold this building to you, I said that if there was a chance, we must cooperate. So I came to talk to President Lin. The cooperation I want to talk about is quite simple. My Liao family has many branches in other cities besides Lin and City. Maybe I can help you expand the business of the Art Xian Group to other cities in the shortest time possible. Chapter 707. Both Lin Xian and Lin Yu knew one thing. Their Art Xian Corporation was different from other corporations and companies. They did not have to worry about losses or future prospects. Moreover, their profits were ridiculous. They also knew that all the companies and corporations that worked with them might help them in some way. However, without this help, with their invincible momentum, they would only be slowed down by a little, and it would not hinder their progress. However, a slower pace was exactly what Lin Xian wanted right now. He didn't want to King develop the 5 great empires right away. In fact, he couldn't even afford to develop China. Why? Firstly, such a rapid development would definitely have many loopholes. Perhaps the losses were nothing compared to the profits, but having loopholes was not good. Secondly, and most importantly, Lin Xian also wanted to develop more. But what about the chalcedony liquid? To Lin Xian, this wasn't an unlimited supply. He couldn't afford it unless he completed Xiao Xinyue's quest and obtained an unlimited supply of chalcedony fluid for free. And any so-called help to them was actually useless at the moment. Linya had heard Lin Xian mention it before. That was to say, at least for now it was enough for now. There was no need to expand it further for the time being. Linya was already very satisfied with the sales today. In fact, she didn't even know how to expand it further. Linya also knew this. It was not impossible to cooperate with Liao Jian, but it was not necessary. Linya then took a sip of tea and smiled. Chairman Liao, I'm afraid we can't cooperate for now. Why? Liao Jian frowned. Even if he could not get this woman, if he could cooperate with her before then, it would be a great help to his company. Linya said, it's not that we don't want to cooperate with Chairman Liao's company. It's our honor to work with Chairman Liao. It's just that Art Xian Corporation's current policy is to not cooperate with other companies for the time being. Even if the three major powers approached us to cooperate, we still rejected them. However, this is only temporary. I believe there will be opportunities to cooperate in the future. When the time comes, we will definitely choose to cooperate with Chairman Liao's company. Liao Jian frowned. He had a feeling that although Linya seemed to be in charge of everything in this company, Lin Xian beside her definitely had a lot of authority, even if he didn't have absolute authority. Perhaps this Linya listened to Lin Xian. After all, he had investigated before. Linya had indeed run a company before, but it only had an annual income of 10 million. She had transformed from 10 million to 1 billion a day, which was an absolute leap in the industry. Did she change it on her own? Difficult. It must be someone else. This Lin Xian was very likely. It seemed that if he wanted to change all of this, he had to get rid of this Lin Xian. It doesn't matter. Since it's your company's current decision, I'm not qualified to change it. Then I'll take my leave. In addition, I'm looking forward to the day when I cooperate with your company. Liao Jian stood up after he finished speaking. It wasn't that he didn't gain anything from this trip. At the very least, it strengthened his belief in what he wanted to do. Hey, President Liao. Lin Xian said. Young Master Lin, is there anything else? Liao Jian looked at Lin Xian. President Liao, aren't you going to visit Morongqing? She told me that she misses you. Lin Xian said with a smile. Liao Jian. It would have been better if he didn't mention it. Now that he mentioned it, the anger in his heart surged. Obviously, he also knew that this Lin Xian was deliberately angering him. No need. I won't disturb your work. See you next time. After he finished speaking, he walked away with a gloomy face. Little Xian, is there a conflict between you and President Liao? Linya didn't know about these things. Lin Xian also didn't mention it to her. However, she knew Lin Xian too well. She could feel it. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, in short, this Liao Jian isn't a good person. Little fairy, don't go out and talk about it because of work. Don't worry. Didn't you say that there's no need for cooperation right now? If there's no need for cooperation, then there's no need for me to talk about cooperation with any other company. Lin Xian was relieved. Okay, you go back to work. I have to go to school. I can't be a bad student who skips classes. Lin Xian kissed her pink cheeks and ran out. Linya's face was red. She really didn't know how to define her relationship with Lin Xian. But so be it, she thought it was pretty good anyway. Lin Xian also didn't go to Morongqing's office. Although it was also a mission target, her mission didn't seem to be that urgent. Most importantly, even if Lin Xian was with her, he didn't know how to improve her favorability. So it's better not to go. Daddy, was that sister just now mommy? On the way, Dragoni poked her little head out a little and asked timidly. Lin Xian was stunned. Why would you say that? Lin Xian smiled helplessly. Because Daddy kissed her. Then I slept with the other two sisters last night. Lin Xian laughed. Oh, Dragoni has 3 moms? Lin Xian. Ahem, Lin Xian coughed dryly and said in a serious tone. Dragoni, from now on don't call me Daddy, call me Big Brother, you hear? No. Why don't I call you Daddy? Because I like to hear you call me Big Brother. Do you know what Daddy means? Lin Xian asked while walking. Tilting her head to the side, Dragoni's cute voice comes out. The first boy Dragoni sees is Daddy. Then you can still call me Big Brother. Be good. Oh, Big Brother? Yes. From now on call me Big Brother. The first boy you see can be called Big Brother too. After hearing Lin Xian's explanation, Dragoni seemed to understand something and nodded her little head. Yes, Big Brother. Lin Xian finally felt better. These little girls are really gullible. Lin Xian really wasn't used to hearing a little girl call him daddy. That feeling was completely different from when Ling Ying called him daddy. In fact, it was extremely awkward. But it's much better now. Aren't you bored following me around like this? Lin Xian asked. Oh, Dragoni needs to sleep often so it's not boring. As long as daddy, big brother gives Dragoni something good to eat, hee. Okay. Good food is easy as long as you're good. Yes, Dragoni is very good. Then she shrank her little head back into the carriage. Lin Xian smiled and walked into St. Brilliance Academy. Today, the Sacred Brilliance Academy could be said to be relatively calm, but not too calm. This was because many people had gone to the Holy Dragon Flame Cave, and many people had not returned alive. They were all discussing the matter of the Holy Dragon Flame Cave. Chapter 708. Hey, did you hear? Some kind of power seems to have erupted from the Sacred Dragon Flame Cave, destroying the entire Sacred Dragon Flame Cave. Of course I heard about it, it's not a secret. I heard that before that. A flame tide broke out inside and everyone died inside. I'm afraid only Empyreans can withstand it. But even if they did, they would either die or be seriously injured. I'm afraid there are no less than 100 people in our academy. I don't know how many people were inside at that time. In any case, 2 people from Class 7 died inside. I don't know about the others. TSK, what do you mean? I also heard that when it collapsed, Lin Xian and the others were also inside. But because of Lin Xian's space attribute, they ran out at the most critical moment. Some people said that the reason why it collapsed was because the most precious thing inside the Holy Dragon Flame Cave was taken away, and Lin Xian and the others ran out in the end. So I think that Lin Xian and the others took away the thing inside the Holy Dragon Flame Cave. Nonsense, right? You're saying that the group of powerhouses didn't get the treasure, but Lin Xian and the others got it? What realm are they in? Thunder Tribulation Realm? You're saying that the Thunder Tribulation Realm is more powerful than those Empyreans? That's pure nonsense. Who can say for sure about this kind of thing? Maybe it's just luck, but it's also possible. I heard that at that time, Lin Xian, Ling Ying, Xiao Xinyue, Gong Sunjun and the others went in together. Their realm might not be very high, but they shouldn't be weak. Who knows, maybe they have some powerful spirit tools. That's hard to say. When Lin Xian entered the St. Brilliance Academy, he heard a lot of people talking about this matter. Lin Xian didn't care if this kind of news was leaked or not, but these were all guesses. The most important thing was that Dragoni wasn't exposed. The rest was up to them to guess. Isn't that Lin Xian? Many people saw Lin Xian. Lin Xian was also a famous person in St. Brilliance Academy. On the first day, he had 2 girls in his arms, and then he flirted with Ling Ying. Then, he even used such a method to get Ling Ying's phone number. Who the F***ck wouldn't accept this? Yeah, let's ask Lin Xian. Then a group of people surrounded Lin Xian. Lin Xian, what happened at the Sacred Dragon Flame Cave that day? You guys didn't get any treasures? That's right. It's really as the legends say. Did you guys get the treasure? Obviously, these students had not experienced the harsh beating of society. Who would King answer such a question? Unless they were idiots. Then Lin Xian said, No, we didn't get anything. We just went in and suffered. In the end, it was all for the sake of survival. King saw with my own eyes that Sky Venerables died in there. Who the F***ck would dare to go in there? Fortunately, we retreated quickly and managed to escape the moment the place collapsed. Otherwise, all of us would have died inside. If we were to talk about obtaining treasures, how could it be our turn? We went there the next day. Some people went there a day earlier than us. We can't beat them. If anyone were to obtain treasures, it would be those people who obtained them. Like I said, you guys think those Sky Venerables are vegetarians. Lin Xian then hurriedly walked away. He believed that Ling Ying and the others wouldn't talk about this matter. When he arrived at Class 10, Wang Xintong still liked to sit alone in a corner and quietly read her book. No matter how noisy the surroundings were, her heart was as calm as still water. Give me a kiss. Lin Xian leaned over and said with a smile. Wang Xintong was stunned, and turned to look at Lin Xian with a face full of surprise. You're back. Didn't I tell you last night that I'm back? Did you miss me? Wang Xintong shyly nodded slightly. In the eyes of others, the two of them seemed to be flirting. They were really envious of them. What's wrong with your chest? Wang Xintong looked at Lin Xian's chest in surprise. It seemed to be bulging a little, but it wasn't noticeable. If she wasn't so close, she wouldn't be able to see it. However, she could still see the slight bulge. Oh, I'll tell you later, Lin Xian said with a smile. Wang Xintong didn't ask. It wasn't that Lin Xian didn't trust Wang Xintong, but how could he let her see Dragoni in this classroom? At this time, someone came in from outside the door. Older brother Xian, older brother Xian. Lu Jingyi couldn't wait to barge in. What's the hurry? Lu Jingyi sat beside him. Older brother Xian, I heard a lot of rumors about you guys in the Holy Dragon Flame Cave. Is it true? Of course it's fake, Lin Xian said. Like I said, although older brother Xian has an imposing appearance and extraordinary appearance, the rumors are too ridiculous. Lu Jingyi nodded and said, but many people from our academy died inside. There should be at least 20 to 30 people. Fortunately, I didn't go, otherwise I would have died inside. Lu Jingyi was a little frightened. Oh right. He suddenly thought of something, and looked at Lin Xian with a sneer. Older brother Xian, it's time for our bet. Lin Xian also smiled. Yes, 3 days have passed. Then when does older brother Xian plan to pay? Lu Jingyi rubbed his hands. I'll pay. I'm afraid you're mistaken. Allah. Their bet was whether Lin Xian could pursue one of Ling Ying and Han Chuxue within 3 days. Obviously, Lu Jingyi now felt that with Lin Xian's ability and skills, it was possible for him to do it if he was given a little more time. After all, Gong Sunjun was able to pursue Xiao Xingyue. In his eyes, Lin Xian was much stronger than Gong Sunjun. But 3 days was still impossible. So he was waiting to collect the money. Lu Jingyi was stunned, then looked at Wang Xintong, and then at Lin Xian, as if he didn't know if he should say this in front of Wang Xintong. Older brother Xian, don't pretend. I don't believe you. Don't go back on your word. But I really did it. Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders and said, I don't believe it. Lin Xian smiled and stood up. Let's go, believe it or not. We'll see the truth soon. Then Lin Xian said to Wang Xintong, I'm going out to earn some money, you read. Wang Xintong nodded. Then Lin Xian brought Lu Jingyi to Ling Ying and Han Chushua's class. Older brother Xian, don't trick me. Lin Xian smiled and said, Trick you? How can I trick you? You don't believe me, right? I'll take you to Ling Ying now, and let you see if I've managed to pursue her. Lin Xian's confident look made Lu Jingyi believe that he was lying. But then he thought, 3 days, isn't this too fake? Could it be that something happened in the Holy Dragon Cave in the Demon Beast domain that made Lin Xian pursue her? Impossible, right? How can a goddess of this level be so easy to pursue? Look at Xiao Xingyue. Gong Sunjun pursued her for almost 3 years. Chapter 709. Lu Jingyi followed Lin Xian to Ling Ying's class. Along the way, Lu Jingyi's heart was filled with apprehension. 5 million was actually not a big deal for him. He just needed to spend less later. The main thing was, if it was true, even though he had already acknowledged Lin Xian's ability to pick up girls, but to be able to pick up a goddess of that level in 3 days, other than admiration, the rest was jealousy. How could there be such a big gap between people? So even if he didn't want Lin Xian's 5 million, he still hoped that Lin Xian would lose. He originally didn't think there was much possibility, but when he saw that confident expression, he panicked. Classmate, is Ling Ying here? Lin Xian leaned against the window and glanced, then asked a classmate. You, aren't you Casanova Lin Xian? When the classmate saw Lin Xian, he was so nervous that he stuttered. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. F***ck. Don't be so exaggerated. Also, you're making him look like a god. He's just an ordinary person. I'm Lin Xian, not Casanova. F***ck. It's really you. Lin Xian, please teach me how to pick up girls. I can give you money, I beg you. I want to chase Han Chuxue. Although I can't compare to Wang Haiyang. But I like her. I want to chase her. I don't think Goddess Han Chushua is the kind of person who cares about material things. Please teach me. That classmate seemed to be completely infatuated with Han Chushua. He excitedly grabbed Lin Xian's arm and said, Lin Xian took his hand away and said, "You don't have money." That classmate nodded. "You don't have money, and you still want to pick up Han Chushua?" Lin Xian finished speaking and walked away. That classmate stood there in a mess. Whoa. F***ck. Brother Xian. So money is still very important to pick up girls, right? Lu Jingyi chased after Lin Xian and asked. Of course it's important, but it really depends on the person. Lin Xian put his hands in his pockets and walked forward. After asking a random person, he found out where Han Chushua and the others were. They went to a small store to buy snacks to eat, although they were both rich young ladies, who said that they didn't have childlike innocence. When Lin Xian walked over, the two girls walked out with a grilled sausage in one hand and an ice cream in the other. They looked very satisfied. It was already snowing, but they were still eating ice cream. Actually, it was nothing. After all, they were in the thunder tribulation realm. It was not a big deal to eat fire. It was just that they were greedy and wanted to eat ice cream, so they could be willful. However, it did not seem like their period was coming. It did not matter if they ate cold ice cream. If it came, Lin Xian would definitely not be happy. Older brother Xian over there. Lu Jingyi pointed, and then Lin Xian walked over. There were many people around, of course, because of Ling Ying and the others. Lin Xian then swaggered over just like that. Why are you eating ice cream in such a cold day? Lin Xian said to Ling Ying and Han Chushua. Why do you care? It's nothing to do anyway. Ling Ying was not afraid at all, and rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. Lu Jingyi, who was not far away, heard Ling Ying's words and felt comfortable in his heart. Was this a conversation between two people in love? Even if he did not understand, this did not seem like a conversation between a couple who had just fallen in love. Either they were not a couple, or they were already very familiar with each other. And it was obviously the former. It turned out that Lin Xian really did not manage to get Ling Ying. He was really just pretending to be a wolf. Comfortable. You're not allowed to eat it. Then Lin Xian walked over, bent down, and bit off a quarter of the ice cream in Ling Ying's hand. Oh, it tastes good vanilla. Lin Xian swallowed it in 2 bites. Everyone was stunned by this scene. If Ling Ying had not eaten the ice cream, then Lin Xian biting it would not be a big deal. But she had already eaten it. Oh my god. This was too King blissful. Then they sneered. Was this not courting death? They were already waiting for the scene of Ling Ying's slap. However, the next scene when Ling Ying pointed at Lin Xian and said this made them collapse. You compensate me. Everyone. Compensate me? Shouldn't this be a King slap? Wait, why did this look like a couple flirting? Also, why wasn't she angry? You're not allowed to eat it in such a cold day. Can I compensate you with a lollipop? Lin Xian said with a smile. I don't care, I want to eat ice cream. Okay. Tomorrow is fine, I'll buy you 10 tomorrow. Then Lin Xian held Ling Ying's empty hand and walked forward while chatting. The surrounding people stared with wide eyes. What the **ck? These two people. What the **ck? Did they get together? Lin Xian managed to get Ling Ying? What the **ck? Is this King real or fake? I'm going crazy. How can this be fake? He ate Ling Ying's ice cream, and now he's holding her hand. This is enough to prove it. Isn't this too awesome? How many days has it been? Is this King Lin Xian really a Casanova? I'm convinced. I'm really convinced. He managed to hook up with a goddess of this level, just like that. Gong Sun Jun's psychological trauma. This incident caused a sensation in St. Brilliant Academy. Who was Ling Ying? She was a top-notch goddess-level girl. Everyone was still talking about what kind of guy would be able to woo such a girl in the future. They had just started discussing this topic when they saw this scene. Their mentality collapsed. Then Lin Xian's title as a Casanova was completely acknowledged by everyone because of this scene. If this wasn't King awesome, then what was? Anyway, they were completely convinced. As for Lu Jingyi, he was in a complete mess. Sorry, He had underestimated Lin Xian. Then, he willingly took out his phone and opened Lin Xian's friend list and chose to transfer the money. He was willing to do this. He was just a little jealous. But then he became excited. 3 days. He really managed to get Ling Ying in 3 days. If he could learn all of Lin Xian's martial arts, then wouldn't it be heaven everywhere? Even if he couldn't get a girl of this level in 3 days, he would be satisfied with 3 months. Satisfied? On the other side, Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. It's good, it's good. If I could hold Chushua's hand again, I would be even more satisfied. Lin Xian laughed shamelessly. In your dreams, I'll let you act all high and mighty. Ling Ying rolled his eyes again. Then you won't have to be harassed by those suitors anymore. Lin Xian scratched his head. Let me tell you, it's almost the new year. You should know what's going on, right? Lin Xian scratched his head and looked puzzled. What's going on? Are you stupid? I have to bring you home for the new year. You have to go to Chushua's place too. Just wait for your death. Lin Xian. F***ck. How could he have forgotten about this? How could he go to the girl's house so quickly? But her family was different. Her mother had already met, so he had to meet her father. This meant that this new year, it's over. This is so annoying. This book is so hard to write. It felt good for a while before, but then it was all water. It's so hard to write. I thought the best plot was Tiandu, but now I can't directly switch to Tiandu. It's so annoying. Chapter 710. Lin Xian scratched his head then asked, Can I not go this year? Think about it, going to Ling Ying's house for Chinese New Year, and being greeted by Ling Ying's family. They might even deliberately make things difficult for you. And there might even be a group of Ling Ying's suitors. Then, going to Han Chushua's house, and experiencing the same thing again. Who the F***ck could stand it? Their mothers, Lin Xian, had interacted with them before. Qin Lan was easier to talk to, while Han Chushua's mother, Zhao Yaji, was a bit strict, but she probably had no choice but to accept Lin Xian. However, the most difficult one was not their mother, but their father. It's up to you, Ling Ying said. I'm just kidding. Although I know I will be beaten up by society. For you too. I'm willing to be beaten up no matter how heavy it is. Then bear with it, it's time for class. Today's incident was fermenting in St. Brilliance Academy. St. Brilliance Academy's students were tagging Liao Zhibang, because they all knew that Liao Zhibang was pursuing Ling Ying. As the number one suitor of Ling Ying, now that Ling Ying was successfully pursued by Lin Xian, everyone was asking him about his thoughts on this matter. The answer was, of course, there was no reply. Lin Xian directly became the god of St. Brilliance Academy. It was not a problem for him to pursue girls, but it was also not a problem for him to pursue goddess-level campus belle, right? He did it in a very short time. Although it was almost impossible, there was still a possibility. Even if they could not accept it, they could accept it first. What they could not accept the most was that before this, Lin Xian was hugging Wang Xintong and the others. They did not believe that Ling Ying did not know about this matter. He definitely knew. But even if he knew, Lin Xian still managed to pursue her. Dissatisfaction and jealousy. But it was precisely because of this that Lin Xian's reputation, as a Casanova, became even more resounding. Under such circumstances, he was still able to pursue Ling Ying in such a short time. Wasn't this F***king invincible? As for the outside world, of course, there were some rumors. For example, if Ling Ying was successfully pursued in such a short time, it must be a woman who looked decent on the surface, but was actually a loose woman, etc., etc. However, they did not care. There were also some people who said that this was all fake, because Lin Xian and Ling Ying knew each other. They were originally schoolmates and friends, so it was nothing for them to have a good relationship. As for the intimate actions, it was all just an act. These were all guesses. In any case, everyone had their own opinions. However, no matter what, many people admired Lin Xian. In a certain room, Liao Zhibang was so angry that he smashed everything in the room into pieces. He could tolerate Ling Ying being pursued by someone else. After all, she had the right to choose. It wasn't like she had to choose him. At most, there would be another one. Even though he couldn't bear to part with her, he couldn't accept Lin Xian pursuing Ling Ying. Even more so, he couldn't accept those people judging him. He had been courting Ling Ying for quite some time now. Even though it hadn't been that long, he hadn't even managed to get her WeChat. On the other hand, Lin Xian had managed to win her heart in such a short amount of time. He couldn't accept the comparison between him and Lin Xian. His room door was pushed open. Liao Jian looked at the messy room with a sharp gaze. What made you so angry? Liao Jian walked in, then poured himself a glass of red wine, and sat on the sofa in the room, swirling the red wine glass. Big brother, how long do we have to wait before we can make a move on Lin Xian? Liao Zhibang angrily walked in front of Liao Jian and asked. What's wrong? Were you provoked by Lin Xian again? Liao Jian asked indifferently. Liao Zhibang sat there angrily and said, I don't understand. What's so special about Lin Xian? Why do all the beautiful girls surround him? Why? Liao Zhibang's words struck a chord in Liao Jian's heart. He also wanted to know why this was the case. From the young girls to the intellectual Morong Qing, they all surrounded him. So he also wanted to know why. What was so special about Lin Xian? He even found out some things about Lin Xian in Tianhua City. For example, when they were in Tianhua Academy, an expert from the evil fiend hall attacked Lin Xian and the others. However, he was saved by an even more powerful fairy-like girl. Obviously, she was related to Lin Xian. What the F***ck? Any man would be envious of him. Why did he have so much more than Lin Xian? But he couldn't get everything he wanted. Of course, he couldn't compete with Lin Xian now. The momentum of that company was simply invincible. He knew that as long as it developed sooner or later, the Art Xian group would develop to the level of the 8 great families in Hua Nation. At that time, he wouldn't even be qualified to carry their shoes. So now the matter was to kill Lin Xian, then get Linya and the Art Xian group. This was what Liao Jian had to do. Liao Jian said, there's no why. If there's a reason, it's because you're not as good as him. I'm not as good as him. How am I not as good as him? Strength? Yes, I didn't beat him, but if it was at night, it's hard to say. He only won because of his space attribute. What's the point of the rest? He's just born a little better, and got lucky. Liao Zhibang said unhappily. Liao Jian then stood up and patted Liao Zhibang's shoulder, saying, Don't worry about this. I've already found someone to deal with Lin Xian. Who? People from the Azura Palace. This Lin Xian beat up the left and right hands of the Azura Palace's White Tiger Hall Master. This is already a slap to their face. I'll spend a little more money, and that Gongsun Hao will naturally be more attentive. So before that, don't stir up any trouble for me. Liao Zhibang's eyes lit up, then he quickly nodded. I know. But this Gongsun Hao is not an ordinary person. As for whether he crippled Lin Xian or killed Lin Xian, I'm not sure. It's best to kill him, so you have a mission. What? Liao Zhibang asked doubtfully. Liao Jian revealed a cold smile. Make Lin Xian and the Gongsun family become complete enemies. Make Lin Xian suffer the attack of the Azura Palace. He will definitely die. But, how do I make them become enemies? Liao Jian smiled, patted Liao Zhibang's shoulder and said, I heard that Gongsun Hao's son, Gongsun Jun, has chased after the #1 beauty of your school, right? Liao Zhibang clenched his fists, then nodded unwillingly. You say, if Lin Xian and Gongsun Jun become enemies, won't that make him an enemy of the Gongsun family? Liao Zhibang still didn't understand what Liao Jian meant. His brother was very smart and cunning. Liao Zhibang understood, but he still didn't know how to do it. Chapter 7:11. Liao Jian drank the red wine in one gulp and walked to the door, saying, Think of a way to make something happen between Lin Xian and Gongsun Jun's girlfriend, and then let Gongsun Jun know. Gongsun Jun has been pursuing that girl for 2 or 3 years. Tell me, if he just got her, and she was touched by another man before he even had the chance to touch her, wouldn't he be angry? Hearing Liao Jian's words, Liao Zhibang's eyes suddenly lit up. But is there any way? Liao Jian threw a small bottle to Liao Zhibang. This is a drug refined by a very powerful poison master I know. You just have to think of a way to make her take it. I don't need to teach you the rest, right? Liao Zhibeng caught the small bottle and watched Liao Jian walk away. His eyes flashed with a sinister light, and the corners of his mouth rose. He seemed to have seen something. This brother of his was still the most sinister. However, as long as he could kill this Lin Xian, it would be fine. As for what to do, for a rich young master like him, he already knew what to do. Tomorrow was Gongsun Jun's birthday. He had invited many people to hold a birthday party at the Crown Plaza Hotel. As his girlfriend, Xiao Xinyue would definitely attend the party, but Lin Xian usually wouldn't. However, this required him to do something. As long as Lin Xian also attended Gongsun Jun's birthday party tomorrow night, he could try to do something. When Gongsun Jun found out that Lin Xian and his girlfriend Xiao Xinyue had sex in the same hotel room at his birthday party, any man would be furious, right? On the other side, Lin Xian happily went home after school in the afternoon. The next morning, Lin Xian went to Miao Xiaomiao's place. He hadn't spent much time with this girl recently, so Lin Xian still had to accompany her. Otherwise, he would feel embarrassed. Fortunately, the girls around Lin Xian were very generous. Lin Xian didn't know why they were so generous. Maybe he was really lucky. They might be unhappy, but they wouldn't say it out loud. They might blame Lin Xian, but they wouldn't say it out loud either. In the morning, he took Miao Xiaomiao out to play and eat some delicious food, then sent her back. Lin Xian originally planned to accompany her the whole day, but Lin Xian said that she had some procedures to do when she got home, so he sent her back. She probably didn't want to take up too much of his time. Lin Xian was now worried about the mission that Linglong Shui and the others had given him. After thinking about it, Lin Xian decided not to go. Instead, he opened Bing Lingyue's WeChat and poked her. After a few seconds, Bing Lingyue sent a few question marks. Since she replied so quickly, they were probably watching TV together on the sofa. Their phones were next to them. Lin Xian, little Bing Bing, what are you doing? Bing Lingyue, watching TV. What's the matter? Lin Xian, ahem, it's nothing serious. I just want to ask for your help. No one saw our chat history, right? Bing Lingyue was naturally very smart. She knew that Lin Xian's question was either related to Linglong Shui or Linglong Yu. Bing Lingyue, yes. Lin Xian coughed dryly and sent a message over. Well, can you help me? Help me chase after Xiao Linglong. Or maybe you can help me find out what's going on. Bing Lingyue was slightly stunned, although she already knew that Lin Xian was interested in Linglong Shui. But asking for her help made her feel uncomfortable. Yes, I know what you mean. Bing Lingyue replied. Hee thanks. Give me a kiss. Lin Xian even sent a kissing emoji. Then Bing Lingyue sent him a snorting emoji. After that, there was no follow-up. Lin Xian felt that if Bing Lingyue didn't become a couple, she would definitely be a very good confidant. Unfortunately, he still had to make a move on her. Although Lin Xian knew that asking his task target to find out what's going on with another task target might help him chase after Linglong Shui, it would greatly affect his pursuit of Bing Lingyue in the future. But there was no other way. He had to get all three. Anyway, he would know when the time came. So he decided to get one first. This man was so King tiring. After that, Lin Xian went to St. Brilliance Academy. He believed that Bing Lingyue was very trustworthy and could do a good job. Anyway, she was reliable. After arriving at St. Brilliance Academy, Lin Xian had nothing to do. He just accompanied Wang Xintong, Lu Yufan and Yi Yi. Lin Xian, Wang Xintong, Lu Yufan, and Yi Yi were sitting in Lu Yufan's class 9. The four of them were playing cards when someone walked in. Many people around them looked at them enviously. Unfortunately, they could only be envious. Lu Jingyi ran in excitedly. Brother Xian. Lu Jingyi ran to Lin Xian's side. He realized that there was a benefit to following Lin Xian. That was, he seemed to have a chance to talk to all the beautiful girls around Lin Xian. But those were all Lin Xian's. But they could also train him. What's the matter? Lin Xian liked this Lu Jingyi very much. He was a boy who gave money away. Tonight is Gongsun Jun's birthday party. I just got a few invitations. Gongsun Jun gave them to me when we met on the road. He told me to give them to you, Brother Xian. Let's go and have some fun together. Lu Jingyi took out a few invitations. Lin Xian held the invitations and sneered in his heart. This Gongsun Jun was probably going to show off to him at his birthday party. Show off what? Show off his girlfriend. Although Lin Xian also chased after Ling Ying in the eyes of outsiders, he still wanted to compete. But why did Lin Xian want to go? Wow! Go go go! I'm bored to death every day. Before Lin Xian could refuse, Lu Yufan took the invitation and shook Lin Xian's arm, looking at Lin Xian expectantly. If Lin Xian didn't go, they definitely wouldn't go. Why are you going? Do you know them? Lin Xian said. I don't know them, but I'm going to have some fun. There will definitely be a lot of people. Let's have some fun. Lu Yufan hugged Lin Xian's arm and acted coquettishly. Lu Jingyi looked at Lin Xian enviously. He also wanted the school belle to hug his arm and act coquettishly. He must be very happy. Do you guys want to go? Lin Xian asked Yi Yi and Wang Xintong. I won't go. I have an appointment with Uncle Qin to train tonight. Wang Xintong shook her little head. Yi Yi said, if you go then I'll go. If not then forget it. Lin Xian sighed helplessly. Okay then let's go. Where? Lin Xian asked Lu Jingyi. It starts at 6 o'clock in the evening, on the 4th floor of the Crown Plaza Hotel. It starts in 5 hours. Lu Jingyi said. Chapter 712. For Lu Jingyi, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That Gongsun Jun must have a lot of beautiful friends. He wanted to see if he could hook up with one. Okay, thank you. No problem, that brother Xian. Lu Jingyi raised his eyebrows at Lin Xian. Lin Xian certainly understood what he meant and said, let's see when the time comes. Then I'm leaving. After saying that, Lu Jingyi ran away with satisfaction. Lin Xian, what does he want you to do? Lu Yufan asked doubtfully. He wants me to help him pick up girls. Lin Xian said. TSK, he wants you to help him pick up girls? Can you do it yourself? Lu Yufan rolled his eyes. Oh, I can't do it? Then what's wrong with you three? Tisk, I'm just helping you put on an act. And you take it seriously? Go go go. I don't want you anymore, hurry up and leave. Then I'll go find little Yingying and little Chushua to play. After Lin Xian said that, he walked away happily. Then, Lu Yufan and the others were stunned. Bastard. He really left. Stinking bastard. Lu Yufan muttered angrily. Yi Yi smiled and said, didn't you tell him to leave? Let's go and buy some snacks. Xintong, let's go together. Okay. In the afternoon, Lin Xian and the others gathered at the school gate. Of course, Lu Jingyi had his own group of people. Although he wanted to go with Lin Xian didn't want to. Lin Xian took Lu Yufan and Yi Yi to the Crown Plaza Hotel. Ling Ying and Han Chushua were also invited. They were also bored. But even if they were, they didn't want to go to such a birthday party. But when they heard that Lin Xian was going, they also went to play. After all, they were from the same school. Even if they weren't familiar with each other, if they didn't go, they wouldn't give face. And this Gongsun Jun was also very smart. What did he say when he invited Ling Ying and the others? He said that Xiao Xinyue wanted them to go, but no one knew. The more he said, the harder it was to refuse. But they went out to play in the afternoon, so they didn't go with Lin Xian. Do you need to change your clothes? Although it's a birthday party, it should be more like a party. Isn't this a bit disrespectful? Lu Yufan asked Lin Xian. Although they were dressed very well, and with their looks, it didn't seem right to wear the same clothes at school and at someone's birthday party. Then you still want to dress up and attend? Lin Xian pinched her pink cheeks. Go away, it hurts. Lu Yufan slapped Lin Xian's hand away. Hurts? Does it hurt? Lin Xian then pinched Yi Yi. Yi Yi, who was a bit disappointed, suddenly became happy because she felt that they were very close. Did she like Lin Xian? In fact, she already knew the answer in her heart, but she didn't know what to do. It was good enough to be friends with Lin Xian and hang out with him. She even felt that she wasn't good enough for Lin Xian now. Thinking back to the Lin Xian before, she felt that he was very ordinary, but the Lin Xian now really made her admire him. However, she felt that she was very ordinary. Looking at Ling Ying and Han Chushua, they were beautiful, elegant and strong. On the other hand, she was more like a vase. Yi then rubbed her face and said, "It hurts. Then I'll be gentler in the future." Lin Xian smiled and then walked forward. He's taking advantage of us. Lu Yufan pouted. "But we can't beat him," Yi said honestly. Oh, soon they arrived at the Crown Plaza Hotel. This Crown Plaza Hotel was also a 5-star hotel, but its branch wasn't as scary as Rose Heaven. After all, it didn't have enough capital, but its style was really impressive. It was now 5:30. It didn't matter if they came early or late, but basically everyone wanted to come early. Lin Xian and the others were bored, so they just came directly. "Please show us your invitation." Outside the hall, two beauties stood and smiled at Lin Xian and the others. Lin Xian and the others took out their invitation. "Please come in." Pushing open the door, he was greeted by a bustling and magnificent scene inside. It was a very large space, filled with drinks, pastries, and food. Various colors of neon lights were flashing, music was playing, and men and women were chatting with each other. It was very lively. Although it was officially starting at 6 o'clock, most people had already arrived. Basically, they were all young people. The rest were probably some business people who were related to Gong Sunjun's father. There were also a lot of them, and there seemed to be a lot of F***king acquaintances. "Wow, it's so lively," Lu Yufan exclaimed. Every party had a party theory. What did it mean? It meant that the beautiful women at the party were like the eye of the typhoon, and the men were the wind. They would move with the beauty. Wherever there were the most people, there would definitely be a beauty. If I knew, I would have brought Ling Longyue. This is her heaven. Lin Xian smiled and led them in. "Young Master Lin, congratulations." Wang Haiyang raised his glass and walked towards Lin Xian with a smile. What was there to congratulate? Of course, it was to congratulate Lin Xian for getting Ling Ying. Of course, he was jealous, but on the surface, he still had to put on a good show. However, the fact that Lin Xian managed to win Ling Ying's heart was not bad news to him. Why? He could build a good relationship with Lin Xian, and Ling Ying was Han Chushua's best friend. Lin Xian could then ask Ling Ying to put in a good word for him. Wouldn't his pursuit of Han Chushua be the icing on the cake? Much simpler? But he was stunned. This Lin Xian actually brought Lu Yufan and Yi? He didn't bring Ling Ying? Obviously, Ling Ying and the others were not here yet. Lin Xian smiled and said, "What's there to congratulate? Come. Let me introduce you." Wang Haiyang walked to Lin Xian's side and patted him on the shoulder. Then he said to the group of handsome men and beautiful women behind him, "This is the famous Lin Xian. I believe that even if you're not a student of St. Brilliant Academy, you've heard of him, right?" In order to pursue Han Chushua, Wang Haiyang began to lick Lin Xian's boots. "Of course, I've heard of young Master Lin's name. He's our idol. Young Master Lin, I'm Li Dong. Nice to meet you. If it's your birthday, you must invite us, ha ha ha." A thin man shook hands with Lin Xian. Lin Xian smiled. Of course, he knew what Wang Haiyang was thinking, but it didn't matter. Let's meet and learn from each other. It's just a small matter. These two are young Master Lin's girlfriends. They're the school beauties of St. Brilliant Academy. Lu Yufan and Yi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Chapter 713. Logically speaking, it was probably the first time in their lives that they had heard or seen someone introduce them as their girlfriends. But Wang Haiyang didn't think it was a big deal. It might make Lu Yufan unhappy, but he knew that such an introduction would make Lin Xian happy. It would make Lin Xian proud. That was enough. He just needed to lick Lin Xian's boots. Obviously, the people around him were shocked when they heard Wang Haiyang's introduction. These two girls were around 17 years old. Although they might not be as charming as those in their 20s, there were people who liked girls of this age. Most importantly, they were both very beautiful. It was a blessing to have one of them as a girlfriend, and you have two of them? Most importantly, even if you have two, how did you get them to get along? How awesome! Although they weren't from St. Brilliant's Academy, they had heard of Lin Xian's name before. Seeing him today, they felt that he looked ordinary. How could he be so amazing? Young Master Lin is amazing. You are a role model for our generation. I admire you. Yeah, you are really our goal to learn from. There was even a girl who smiled and winked at Lin Xian. That's right. Don't you know who young Master Lin is? In the future, you should be more knowledgeable and let young Master Lin teach you a few moves, Wang Haiyang said. Lin Xian laughed in his heart. This Wang Haiyang was unscrupulous. Well, I'm going to eat something. I won't keep you company. Lin Xian said. All right. Go ahead, young Master Lin. I won't disturb you. Wang Haiyang then walked away with his people. Meanwhile, Lin Xian, Lu Yufan, and the others went to prepare some delicious food. Young Master Wang, is what you said just now true? On the other side, several people around Wang Haiyang asked doubtfully. Yeah, I would believe it if he had a foot in several boats. But to let girls know about this and still get along with each other, and such beautiful and pure girls at that, this is too exaggerated. Nonsense. If it wasn't true, why would this young master introduce them to you? Wang Haiyang glared at those people and then said, This Lin Xian is really a god. Although I think he's very ordinary in other aspects, he's really good at picking up girls. I can't help but admire him. You also know that I'm pursuing Han Chushue right now. If I can get Lin Xian to help me, Han Chushue will be mine, so you guys better be smart. Yes. On the other side, Lin Xian and Lu Yufan were sitting on the sofa, eating snacks and chatting. Dragony twitched in his arms as if she smelled something delicious, but Lin Xian didn't tell her to come out. She's very obedient and won't come out. Lin Xian, if Yi and I want to increase our cultivation, we have to at least reach the profound heaven realm first. That should be enough. Can we go to the beast domain now? Lu Yufan asked. Lin Xian shook his head. If you want to go, you can try to go to the beast domain behind Lin City. Don't go to Tianhua City for now. Also, you must have someone with you. Otherwise it's too dangerous. Then will you bring someone with you? Lu Yufan smiled slyly. Sure, but I can only bring you out occasionally. I can't bring you to the beast domain every day. And that's enough. These two girls were indeed very weak before, but although they rarely went to the beast domain, their training was really hard. Although they might not be as good as Wang Xintong, they're definitely more hardworking than most of the people in the school. It's just that without actual combat experience, they can't do anything. So they also need actual combat experience. Lin Xian's purpose is only to protect them, so he can be at ease. Isn't this young Master Lin? In front of him, a figure walked over with a glass of red wine. When Lin Xian saw him, he frowned. This guy is also here? That's right, it's Liao Jian. Manager Liao and Gongsun Jun are also in the same circle? You're not on the same level, are you? Are you here to attend his birthday party? Liao Jian smiled, then clinked his glass with Lin Xian and said, I don't know this Gongsun Jun, but I have some cooperation with his father. It's his son's birthday, so it's reasonable for him to invite me, right? Yes. Liao Jian then pointed to the many people in the hall behind him and said, Most of the people here are actually Lin City's business tycoons. The rest are Gongsun Jun's friends and classmates. Lin Xian nodded. So that's how it is. Then we're really fated. Yes, I'm looking forward to working with young Master Lin. Then I won't disturb you here. Eat well and drink well. Liao Jian then smiled and walked away. The moment he turned around, his eyes flashed with ruthlessness. Since this Lin Xian is here, it's already halfway to success. Tonight, he will make him lose face in front of everyone at the party, and make him an enemy of the Gongsun family. Imagine, at Gongsun Jun's birthday party, his father, the dignified White Tiger Hall Master of the Azura Palace, was also present. Under such circumstances, Lin Xian and Gongsun Jun's girlfriend were in bed in another room of the hotel, and this scene was caught red-handed. Then, how much hatred did Lin Xian have for the Gongsun family? If you die, I die. On the other side, although Liao Zhibong was chatting with others, his eyes were always on Lin Xian. Tonight was also very important to him. He must kill this Lin Xian. In fact, what he needed to do was to find an opportunity and drug Xiao Xinyue when no one was paying attention. Then, he would bring her to a room that he had already prepared, and somehow trick Lin Xian into going there. The drug would evaporate in the air through heating. As long as Lin Xian entered the room, he would definitely fall for it. It didn't matter if he was in the lightning tribulation realm or not. Although it was called a knockout drug, it was actually more of an aphrodisiac. When the two of them lost their minds and made love to each other on the bed, all the people at the party would gather there. At that time, the result would be obvious. Therefore, the most difficult thing for him now is actually not Lin Xian, but Xiao Xinyue. The most difficult thing was to make her fall for it without anyone noticing. However, he wasn't in a hurry. There would always be a chance. The party had just begun, and the key people hadn't even shown up yet. Xiao Xinyue hadn't arrived either. The real beauties hadn't arrived yet, but there were still quite a few beautiful ones. For example, Lu Yufan and Yi Yi were currently being secretly watched by many people. However, they were always with Lin Xian, so no one came to talk to them. Most of the young people at the party were actually students of the Saint Brilliant Academy. There was also one person who was being watched by everyone at the party, Lin Xian. Chapter 7:14. Lin Xian and Yi Yi were sitting there bragging about how brave they were in the Holy Dragon Flame Cave, and how they let everyone out of danger. Of course, most of it was just bragging, but the two girls were relatively naive, so they were really excited. When they heard about the danger, especially when they heard that the six-eyed bloodbat king blew up a sky venerable expert without warning, they were even more scared. Then a voice sounded. They looked up and saw a girl in a white dress. She wasn't dressed to the nines, but she was a beautiful girl. Xiao Runing. Miss Xiao. Lu Yufan and Yi Yi called out at the same time. They were teacher and student, but they were friends when they weren't in school. Xiao Ningning, why are you here? Lin Xian also looked at Xiao Runing with a cold light in his eyes. Why was she acting like this? That's right, Xiao Runing was the most popular person in the entire gathering. Especially when they saw Xiao Runing looking for Lin Xian, they were all curious about who this person was. Those who knew didn't think much of it. After all, they were teacher and student, so it was normal for them to chat when they saw each other. It was just that the beauties were all by Lin Xian's side. Xiao Runing rolled her eyes at Lin Xian, then sat beside Yi Yi and took a sip of wine. Why? Can't I come? No. Didn't you become a teacher just now? That Gongsun Jun wasn't taught by you, so there's no relationship between the two of you. Oh, I understand. That Gongsun Jun obviously invited you, because you're a beautiful teacher in the academy. He didn't care if you knew him or not, he just wanted to give you face. Men always have ulterior motives. Xiao Runing pondered for a moment, then nodded and said, Not many men are good. Lin Xian. Then Xiao Runing said, Your sister is busy with work every day and has no time to come out to play. I was bored after teaching, so I came to have a look. In fact, it was mainly because of her sister Xiao Xinyue. After all, her sister had a boyfriend now, so she came over to have a look. She didn't know much about Gongsun Jun, and she hadn't even seen him before. After all, he was a master in the backyard of St. Brilliant's Academy. She had only seen photos of him, and he was quite handsome, but she didn't know much about him. Although he was her sister's boyfriend, as an elder sister, she should know a little about him. It's quite tiring. Lin Xian nodded. So, as a younger brother, how can you not be more considerate? You come out to play every day and look at your sister. She works for you every day. You have no conscience. Xiao Runing also rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Cough, cough. Lin Xian coughed dryly, then scratched his head and said, It's fine. I'll be fine once I'm done with this. By the way, I heard that you're dating Ling Ying? Xiao Runing suddenly asked. Lu Yufan and Yi Yi paid special attention to Lin Xian. Of course they knew, but they weren't sure if it was true or not. Damn. Xiao Ningning, do you still believe the rumors outside? I'm just acting to make money. Really? Of course. Weren't I acting with Yi and Fan Fan? Lin Xian said straightforwardly. As for the matter regarding his girlfriend, it was better to try to make it seem like a lie. Although some people might know in their hearts, they didn't really care. Lin Xian didn't care at all. After all, he still had to complete his mission. If they knew that he was already taken, How could they do missions in the future? Thinking about it, it's not like she's interested in you. Xiao Runing said deliberately. Go, go, go. Don't you know how outstanding I am? Lin Xian asked Yi and the others. They remained silent, and then Lin Xian felt awkward. At this moment, the door of the hall opened, and Han Chuxue and Ling Ying walked in. They didn't specially change their clothes for this birthday party. If it was Lin Xian's birthday party, or their friend's birthday party, they would definitely dress up and attend. But they weren't familiar with Gong Sunjun at all, and they were just here to have fun. Why did they have to change their clothes? This was the difference between caring and not caring. For example, if you asked a girl out to have fun, and see if she didn't care about you, there was a very, very simple and crucial point. See if she deliberately washed your hair for you. Washing a girl's hair was usually more troublesome, but girls like to be clean. However, she didn't need to wash it every day. If she specially washed her hair for you, or did her hair, then you should have some status in her eyes. Ling Ying and Han Chushua's appearance immediately attracted everyone's attention. When the door was opened, the surrounding people subconsciously glanced at who came in. Then they saw the beauties, and of course they were excited. No, there was another one behind them, Xiao Xinyue. The three of them came together. Xiao Xinyue attended the party in a beautiful dress. Even if she didn't like it, there was nothing she could do. After all, she was Gong Sunjun's girlfriend. She definitely had to give face to this man. Hey, which one is prettier? Xiao Runing asked Lin Xian with a somewhat black-bellied tone. You're the prettiest. Lin Xian said directly. I mean the three of them. Which one do you think is the prettiest? This was a suicidal question. Although it had nothing to do with Xiao Runing, Lin Xian could say who was prettier? Obviously not as prettier. That was also a stupid answer. I'll go get some food. Then Lin Xian quickly slipped away. Obviously, his best choice was not to answer. Did you see that? This is a man, Xiao Runing said to Yi and the others with a smile. We already knew that this is a man, Lu Yufan said with a smile. You did a good job. Ling Ying glanced and then aimed at the delicious food. He came over to freeload some food. Xinyue, go find your boyfriend. We won't accompany you, Ling Ying said to Xiao Xinyue behind him. Xiao Xinyue nodded slightly, then glanced at Xiao Runing in front of her and walked away. They met on the way here. After all, they experienced danger together, and went on an adventure together, so they knew each other. Then they came together. Hi, Miss Xiao Fan Fanny. Ling Ying then saw Xiao Runing and the others. He waved happily and walked over. The surrounding people felt uncomfortable. Why were all these beautiful girls together? The other beautiful girl was Gong Sunjun's girlfriend. What should they do? Lin Xian walked over with the delicious food and saw Ling Ying. Han Chuxue was already sitting beside Xiao Runing. Do you want to eat? Lin Xian passed the delicious food to them. I want to eat ice cream. Help me make it. Ling Ying said. Spoil you? Make it yourself. You said you would compensate me with 10. Ling Ying stared at Lin Xian angrily. Lin Xian. Okay, I'll make it for you. Lin Xian then walked away helplessly. Then, he became a happy tool. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.